with that goal. Graham, I know you wanted to talk about Gareth Barry and the captaincy.
Yeah, I think the thing is what Capello has done is followed the Italian way of making the captains who's got the most caps. And I think if we look at that, in there, I think this is the way that he's got the captaincy. From a personal point of view, and knowing him very well, is that I don't think he's out and out holding midfield player. I think he's so left-sided that I think he finds it difficult at times to maintain that position and protect as much as, say, Scott Parker can do. And with the captaincy, it's a great, great honour. But I think that's what Capello done. Who's won the most caps? He'll be my captain.
Let's look down to the tunnel where the players are standing. They seem to have, I can't see them on my monitor, Ian Dennis, who is in the tunnel, but they do seem to have been in that tunnel for a very long time.
Well, that's because the England players have been here for a long time, at least 2 or 3 minutes, but not the Ghana players as yet. And in fact, one of the linesmen actually had to go into the Ghana dressing room and blow his whistle to give them the hurry up. They are very laid back. I've just been speaking to Stephen Appiah, who says that they look very relaxed. He says they're really looking forward to the game. But now, all of a sudden, the Ghana players with their yellow trading tops are coming into the tunnel, this vast area down here, to line up alongside the England players, who of course are going to be led out by Gareth Barry.
So the linesman actually had to walk in and blow his whistle.
I think they were actually given 2 reminders. I saw one of the linesmen go in and blow his whistle, and then I think one of the officials, who's one of the supporting officials here, also had to go in and give them the hurry up. And in fact, now we've just had Richard Kingston just coming across to shake the hand of Joe Hart, the 2 goalkeepers. So they're very laid back, and I think they were keeping England waiting. Well, in fact, they were keeping England waiting.
Do you want to tell them to hurry up?
No, they're here now,
right? And
very, very soon. They're just waiting. We've got John Mensah and Gareth Barry side by side, so they actually are in the tunnel, and you'll see them walking out very, very soon.
They'll be coming out of the tunnel very soon then. Given the bench and the changes that can be made, Matt Jarvis is on it, Graham. We do expect to see him at some point, and that'll be a big moment for your old club, Wolves, as well.
It will. I mean, long time ago, half the Wolves side used to play for England, and all those, the 50s and early 60s, you remember all of that. But it's a fantastic achievement by this young boy, because he's been rejected at clubs prior to that, and it's a good example. If you head down, believe in yourself, and sort of put those setbacks to one side and still keep believing. And he's done extremely well to get into the England squad. We expect to see him on the pitch at some time tonight.
The teams are just coming out of the tunnel now. The Turkish officials this evening leading the way. Gareth Barry leading England out as well. John Mensah of Sunderland. His opposite number this evening, as Ian Dennis told you, the Ghanaians in their bright yellow tracksuit tops at the moment. They've got red shorts and red socks. England have their blue tracksuit tops on. We were told it was a sellout at Wembley this evening. It certainly doesn't look it from our position. That middle tier, which is always the corporate tier, has several empty seats in it, as does the top tier as well. In fact, more empty seats in the top tier than the middle tier at the moment. But the Ghanaian section is very well populated. It is fantastic, Graham, isn't it, to see such an away following for a friendly international.
It really is, and it gives an atmosphere to the game. And hopefully, we're going to see a good game. But I say again, looking from the England manager's point of view, can this side, seen as a second side, can they play the same formation in the same manner as they did against Wales? And if so, will they be successful? Because I believe they're playing against a better side than Wales.
Maybe you should have switched it round then. Maybe you should have played this side against Wales and the more established ones this evening. The noise you can hear is from the Ghanaian fans. We're told 21,000 of them, all waving their red, white and green flags at the moment. That is where all the noise is coming from, away to our left. The England fans fairly muted to our right at the moment, and now they've been presented to the officials, and we are waiting the national anthems of both sides. Certainly no booing during that national anthem. All the noise coming from the Ghanaian fans, and now the English anthem. Scores to update you on before we have full commentary. Sheffield Wednesday equalised against Brentford in the International Football Republic of Ireland, are a goal down to Uruguay. Diego Lugano with that after just 12 minutes. And in the Euro 2012 qualifier at Windsor Park is still Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. So the first 45 minutes of England against Ghana on the way. You will enjoy it in the company of Graham Taylor, Mark Lawrenson, Mike Ingham, and first of all, Alan Green.
Well, hand in heart, I can't say that I always enjoy friendly games, but I'm really looking forward to this because Ghana is the opposition. And from what I saw in South Africa, this is a really good team and contenders in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. This is the England 11, which retains 4 of the players that started the match on Saturday in Cardiff. The goalkeeper is Hart. Defence, Johnson, Jagielka, Cahill and Baines. Then we think Milner, Barry and Wilshere in midfield. And finally Young, Carroll and Downing as the 3 furthermost forward. Ghana's 11. The goalkeeper is Kingston. The defence, Pansel, Vorsa, John Menson the captain and Addy. It's Lee Addy. There are 2 Addys. Davies on the bench. Then in midfield, Montari, Anan, Ajimang and Asamoah, and finally Adia and Gian. I've given that out in 4-4-2 formation, but frankly, a bit like England's formation, Mark, I'm not quite sure how they will line up.
No, and we spoke about this, didn't we, at the weekend with England, and I was surprised to see that 1 or 2 people on Sunday morning thought England played 4-4-2.
Or 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, well, I must have. I
was watching a different game.
I'm sure it was 4-3-3, was it not?
Yeah, well, I thought the telling comment actually came from the skipper tonight, Gareth Barry, who referred to the 3 central midfield players.
Yes. Oh well.
But
what do we know?
I certainly know now.
That's true.
What did you think of Ghana in the World Cup, Mike?
Good. Very, very good indeed. They just play with that freedom of expression, don't they? They're quick. They're interchangeable in terms of their positions. I just think, Richard Kingston's done well for Blackpool generally, but I do think he's very, very prone to errors. He makes good saves, but also lots of errors.
The Republic of Ireland have equalised against Uruguay. Shane Long with the equaliser in Dublin. Ghana are playing in red and yellow striped shirts, red shorts, red socks. England, white shirts, blue shorts and white socks. And it will be Andy Carroll winning his 2nd cap tonight for his country, who will kick off. What you said, Mark, a short while ago is absolutely correct. He's not reached much fitness yet.
No.
So how long he actually is out there for will be interesting to see. Referee waiting. Are somebody boots being changed? A Ghanaian player.
2 players, is it? Or are there?
I don't. Well, the 2 are across on this near touchline. Something is happening. Yeah, it was fascinating watching Fabio Capello and Baldini in the technical area, over the last 45 minutes, staring at, glaring at what was going on the pitch. And I'm trying to think, what are they doing? They were watching the Ghanaians warm up.
Well, you're never too old to learn something, are you?
I haven't a clue. I haven't reached that age yet. England finally will be ready to kick off. The Ghanaian players are ready. Suleiman Tari was having his boots changed. And the referee from Turkey tonight blows his whistle. We're underway. England have never lost against African opposition. But if Ghana play as well as we think they might play, that record could be at threat tonight. England defending the goal to our right. Wembley is certainly not full. We were told it was a sellout, but the upper and middle tiers not sparsely populated, but it's about sort of half of them empty seats. Here's Carroll, and Carroll plays it back to the acting captain Barry, and Barry drives a good ball way towards the far side of the field, brought under control and flicked on by Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson gets past Suleiman, checks on the inside as well, crosses deep, far too deep there for Ashley Young, and it's out of play for a throw into Ghana.
Well, England did extremely well. Great crossfield pass by Barry, interchange as well down the right hand side, Downing and Glenn Johnson. Once he turned inside on his left foot, Alan, just needed any decent cross, and Carroll was there to attack it.
It's still too early, is it, Mark, to decide whether England are playing 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or even 4-1-4-1?
It is too early.
It is too early. Here Ghana have possession with Asamoah playing the ball away towards the far side of the field, but it went straight to Stuart Downing of Aston Villa, who came on against Wales in Cardiff. Into Gareth Barry. Barry to Wilshere. Wilshere inside the centre circle and runs away from the marking flare, and then is brought down by Ajibang, and it's a free kick to England. Ajibang implies to the referee that it was a dive. I don't think it was. Free kick's already been taken. Ashley Young. Back to Milner, onto Downing, and that's a foul tackle from behind.
That's a poor tackle. That's a booking, surely.
Well, will the referee be lenient because it's a friendly? I think he's saying, don't you do that again, Sonny, you will be booked. Goodness gracious.
Poor tackle.
I know it's easy to say from the replay, but Lee Addy's challenge was appalling. So certainly Ghana are treating this competitively without question. 2 minutes played here at Wembley. You're listening to 5 Live at the BBC. England against Ghana, 0-0. England free kick. Ashley Young's going to take it. Young plays it in towards Carroll. Far too deep, and that's run out of play for a throw.
Yeah, 2 crosses for England, Johnson and Young, and both overhit at the moment.
Well, the thing is that you want to see Ashley Young and Stuart Downing get down the flanks tonight and get good crosses in for Andy Carroll. Not played from deep, that's for sure. England now have a throw in near side of the field. Baines, who's had a wonderful season for Everton, richly deserves his cap. Baines with a throw into Ashley Young, and a shot by Young, sort of hit in the half volley. Must have taken the deflection, gone behind for a corner. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Brentford 2 is the latest scoreline from Hillsborough. Didn't see that deflection of Ashley Young's shot.
No, ref is in a great position to see it.
So quarter to England. Penalty area way to our left. Here it comes in, left-footed. Good header up by John Mensah, the Sunderland player, dropping to Wilshere. Wilshere's shot goalwards, but saved easily by Kingston.
Well, if you noticed, Alan, Andy Carroll was left completely unmarked from that corner. I mean, the ball didn't reach him, but he was completely unmarked.
He might fancy it. Here's Gareth Barry heading it back to the England goalkeeper Joe Hart. I just hope that Barry's selection tonight as captain isn't actually his swan song, because not making the 18 at all in Cardiff must have been ominous for Gareth Barry of Manchester City. Milner's pass was poor, and that runs straight through to the Blackpool goalkeeper Kingston. England 0, Ghana 0. Ghana a penalty kick away from the semi-final of the World Cup in South Africa. Some punters still making their way into the seats, but again, you just look at that middle tier and the upper tier, Mark, and how many empty seats there are. I don't know how it's judged that this is going to be sold. Maybe these tickets were sold, and then the England fans looking at the likely team thought, I can't be bothered.
Well, it's quite possible, isn't it?
Throw in for John Pansel of Fulham. He's going to get the return ball, is he? It's going back his way, and inadvertently, no, he doesn't get a touch, and then Ghana lose possession rather easily. Young, back to Baines. Good flick in by Baines to Barry. Barry left of the centre circle. Action on the halfway line. And now it's with Baines, who moves into Ghanaian territory. Onto Wilshere. Wilshere's first touch wasn't great, but then he regained possession and he was fouled. England free kick. Taken and played to Milner. And now Glenn Johnson, who was pretty good for England against the Welsh on Saturday. On now to Downing. Downing in orange boots, cutting in towards the Ghana penalty area, goes down, loses the ball. He thinks he was fouled. The referee was very close by and decided there was no infringement. And now it's forward to Gian with the number 3 on his back, the striker. He's tackled and it's out of play off Jagielka for a throw in to Ghana on the halfway line. Getting a first sight of the Serbian coach, Goran Stevanovic. Succeeded another Serbian in charge of Ghana. Ghana flick the ball down the right side, but it's ahead of Gian and runs through harmlessly enough to Joe Hart, who's winning his 10th cap for his country tonight. Interesting that Capello decided not to bring in Robert Green or Scott Carson. They're both on the bench. Here's Wilshere, and Wilshere looks to be a good ball forward to Baines. Baines tried to get inside the full-back, might get another chance. Was he fouled there? No, he wasn't. The ball's out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Ghana.
He played for a foul, and the ball from Wilshere was inside the full-back. Pansel and Baines, unfortunately, couldn't get round him to get on the end of it, and just sort of ran straight into him.
This is not a criticism of Ashley Cole, but many people think that the best left back this season in the Premier League has been Leighton Baines.
Yeah, it's a good argument, Alan, but I tell you what, Ashley Cole's been England's best player for the last 2 years.
Question. There's a good ball flick forward, north side fly, Adia into the penalty area, tried to play it through the legs of Joe Hart. Hart makes the save. Great chance for Ghana.
It's a really poor finish. You could just tell body language that he wasn't going to score at all, and Joe Hart just made himself big as long as possible and just low save down to his left-hand side. Great opportunity.
Right, in Northern Ireland's group, it's still 0-0 in Belfast, by the way. In Northern Ireland's group, though, Estonia 0, Serbia 1. Xavi has put Spain in front away to Lithuania, 1-0 there leading. It's now Republic of Ireland 1, Uruguay 2. And domestically, Rotherham 0, Shrewsbury 1. Here at Wembley, after nearly 7 minutes, England 0, Ghana 0, but it should be 1-0 to Ghana.
Yeah, England looked very, very square at the back there when conceding the opportunity. I never saw where the ball had come from that was played through.
Ashley Young loses the ball, and Ghana come forward again. That wasn't a great clearance by Jagielka. Hart out of his penalty area, and Hart drives the ball into touch for a throw into Ghana, which is very quickly taken to Adia. Adia loses the ball very easily, and Wilshere to Milner. Back to Barry. Barry's very much the holding player of that midfield three, with Milner and not surprisingly Wilshere ahead of him.
Yeah, they are. They're almost either side of him. You can go 4-3-3. You might even argue 4-5-1 without the ball, which is quite normal.
But it's not 4-1-4-1.
At the moment, it isn't to me. But hey.
Anyway, that's what the readers of one of the newspapers I get at home certainly read on Monday morning. Free kick to England, taken by Wilshere to Barry, and Barry to Carroll. Back now to Wilshere, and on the far side it's Glenn Johnson. Stuart Downing runs down the field. Good ball by Johnson. Downing is there. The cross was low towards Carroll, and it was intercepted by the Ghanaian captain John Mensah. Behind it goes for a corner.
I'm afraid it was good play by England to get down in ahead of his man, but again it's another poor cross.
But he took a good early corner and gets it back from Milner. The cross in towards Barry. Barry's header down, and it's cleared by Ghana. At least it's now outside their penalty area. Adia back to Pansel, the right back, the Fulham defender, and Pansel drives it down the right side towards Gian. Cahill got across very quickly. Cahill's pass back to Joe Hart was slightly overhit, but not in a dangerous manner.
No, it wasn't going in the goal. No. It was a bit of a new from the 4 and 9s in front of us, but it was never going in.
Here's Glenn Johnson. On to Stuart Downing on the far side, still 10 yards inside the England half. That's a good pass by Downing. On to Carroll. Milner's to his right. Carroll holds the ball up though. Feeds it back to Downing. Downing inside the Ghana half. Into Captain Barry. Barry onto the far side, and Milner back towards Glenn Johnson, but Barry takes up the ball, finds Wilshere. Wilshere rides a challenge, but is going to lose it on the second tackle, but I think his shirt was being pulled back. Good refereeing again, spotting at the Turkish referee. Free kick to England. Taken, and it goes to Baines. Baines into Young. Young back to Milner. Milner forward to Baines, edge of the penalty. Back to Ashley Young, is shot over the crossbar.
Good play by England. Quick passes as well, and Ghana couldn't get very close to Ashley Young. It's a decent shot, just it's rising at the end, but good little ball played him round the corner into Baines, early strike.
And it's great to see Baines, like Ashley Cole, getting forward so much.
Well, the other thing as well, Adia is not the 18 for Ghana, and who's playing on the right. He's not doing any tracking back at the moment, so he might have the freedom of Wembley this evening.
Now, looking at it now, they're almost lined up the same formation that England are. Still, England 0, Ghana 0. 10 minutes played here at Wembley. Listening to 5 Live. Carroll, good touch to Milner. Milner on towards Downing. Downing ahead of the defender into the penalty area. Chance for Stuart Downing. Wretched finish, high over the crossbar.
Well, it's symptomatic of his night so far. He keeps getting himself half a yard on the fullback, and the end product, delivery, cross, shot, whatever you want to call it, has been poor so far, especially from Downing, who's got real quality and gets his fair share of goals for Aston Villa. He's just had a smash at it, And all he really needs to do in that position, if you watch where Kingston goes, he's down very, very early, the goalkeeper.
That was a disappointing finish, let's say, from Stuart Downing.
There was a hint of a bobble, so...
Yeah, maybe that is a partial excuse. England 0, Ghana 0 at Wembley. And it'll be interesting to see in the second half, when they give out the official attendance, how close to capacity it's alleged to be. But it ain't full. Let's get an update from Belfast, that Northern Ireland game. Darren Fletcher.
Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. Lee Campner has made 3 decent saves for Northern Ireland. A volley from Ilicic, a shot by Soler, and a fantastic tip over the crossbar from Bursa from 25 yards. Slovenia have been forced to make a change. Ljubijancic has come on for Ilicic. Northern Ireland can't really get started, and the better chances have fallen to Serbia. Northern Ireland 2 at Slovenia. Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0.
Milner on to Carroll. Carroll's first touch wasn't great. It took him wider than he should have done, and I think it's behind for a goal kick now, courtesy of the challenge.
Yeah, I think that Vorsa must be quick. So it looked as though Andy Carroll had a yard, if not 2 yards on him, knocked the ball away, and Vorsa got, but well, he was catching him all the time, wasn't he?
Vorsa, who plays for Hoffenheim in Germany. By the way, Darren and myself will be in Madrid this time next week, as you will be, not working for 5 Live. He's obviously chasing the money somewhere else. Real Madrid against Tottenham Hotspur next Tuesday night in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. What an occasion that will be. Barry heads the ball down to Milner. Back to Barry on the halfway line, right in the centre circle. To Milner once more, and on it goes to Baines. Baines on the halfway line, left flank for England, to Wilshere. Back to Baines. Is that a helicopter I hear overhead? I think it is. On now to Young. Young was fouled, but still got the pass forward to Baines. Baines is then well challenged, aggressively challenged, but fairly challenged, and Ghana managed to win a throw in off Ashley Young on the near side.
Just wonder whether the referee might have pulled the ball back, giving England a free kick, actually, because they went nowhere with it after the foul on Young.
12.5 minutes played, England 0, Ghana 0, and each side has had one really good chance. Adia for Ghana, that was the first of them, and then Downing for England. Throw-in has moved about 10 yards further upfield, courtesy of another England touch out of play. In fact, he's stealing a good 10 yards now. Pansel with a throw-in, and back from Gian, but Gian's pass back hit Ashley Young, and now it's with Gary Cahill. Cahill 10 yards in advance of his own penalty area, and he rushes forward. He's up to the halfway line now and tries to slide the pass through to Ashley Young, rather telegraphed, cleared by Ghana, but straight into England's possession again. Johnson to Downing. Downing on the halfway line. Wilshere's to his left. Downing is looking to flick it towards Johnson. It's headed away by Addy, the left back, and Ghana with another throw on the far side of the field.
It is a Manchester Rovers kit, isn't
yes,
it, Ghana?
That's a very good shout. It is. That was Roy the Rovers.
Absolutely ringing.
Well, we miss Roy. Go on.
Pass your tissue in a minute.
Jean, good play. Back to Adia. Adia's pass, not great. Good tackle by Cahill. I think Asamoah thought he'd been fouled there, and the referee disagreed. And the Turkish referee is really well up with play.
That's been good.
He's been good. Hasn't missed a thing. Ball's back now to Joe Hart. Hart out of his penalty area, and then he drives it right-footed in the direction of Stuart Downing. Accurately played, brilliant control by Downing. On his left foot, slides it back. Ashley Young, couple of yards outside the penalty area. His shot tipped over in the end by Kingston. He made it right in the middle of it, actually.
Well, I think, Alan, if you see this again, it's probably a better save than you thought, because I think he catches it in terms of touches it with his right hand, Kingston. His left.
Well,
no, you're right. You were right.
I just thought that was one for the photographer.
Yeah, no, you were right. Great. What about the touch from Downing?
Brilliant. Absolutely outstanding touch from Downing. A smile on the face of Capello.
It's wind.
Someone told him a joke. Someone told him a joke. Corner's taken. Ball's inside the penalty, and then a back heel from Glenn Johnson, wide of goal. Graham, were you party to the joke that obviously Fabio Capello laughed at?
I haven't seen Fabio laugh for a long time.
I know, it's something very interesting. Yeah. Sorry, Graham, what are your thoughts?
No, what I say, it's very interesting to see Ghana match themselves up to England's formation pretty well within the first 5 minutes. And yeah, they're lively enough, but defensively, I think that England have got them. They're very square at times. They don't play off one another. And we being English, England have had opportunities.
Here's Ghana coming forward. Now they've got a free kick. Foul on Asamoah. And this one's about 5 yards outside the England penalty area. To the right as Ghana look at it. And this is an opportunity for Ghana.
Have you mentioned Muntari yet?
No. Is he playing?
Touched the ball, is he?
No, I just haven't noticed him, but he might touch it now.
I think this is his moment.
No, it's Addy who's going to take the free kick.
Is it?
Well, convenient. No, it's Muntari. So this one's about 25 yards from goal. Given the angle, England have got everybody back inside the penalty area. Ashley Young's nowhere near 10 yards away, and even though the referee forced it back, he's creeping further forward. Ashley Young, 4 men in the wall. It's going to be tapped for Muntari to take. 16 minutes gone at Wembley. Muntari plays it left-footed and was always good over the crossbar.
Poor, wasn't it? An absolute waste. I've worked out why Fabio was laughing.
Why?
He just turned around to Baldini and said, £6 million they paid me to watch the reserves.
I wonder what he thought of that photograph that appeared in many papers about he and Baldini standing behind Miss Wales in Cardiff.
Courtney, your name is?
Yeah, if you didn't see the photograph, look it up on the internet. It's a nice one. Here's Wilshere for England. Still 0-0 at Wembley. Wilshere, good ball onto Baines. Baines plays it quickly. It hit the defender, Pansel, but still gets through to Ashley Young. That was the intended target, and Young allows it to go out and play for a throw into England, about a yard from the corner flag.
Young's made a good start, Alan.
Yes, he has.
Predominantly started on the left, but he's just drifted in and got himself in all sorts of different positions, and he's looking in the last couple of games like he might have come of age a little bit international football-wise.
Baines with a throw in to Wilshere. And Wilshere spins away from his marker, plays it on to Milner. Now it's Ashley Young. Young's cross flicked in the air off a defender's boot and caught by Kingston. Still 0-0, England and Ghana here at Wembley Stadium. Scorelines elsewhere: Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. That's a qualifier in Belfast, and the Republic of Ireland were trailing 2-1 to Uruguay in Dublin. Suarez, by the way, talking about Carroll playing here for England tonight. In a friendly. Suarez hasn't been figuring for Uruguay because of that slight injury that he picked up.
That old international fortnight slight injury.
Yes, that old international fortnight injury. Here's Downing, who should have scored for England. Playing the ball to Baines, and Baines' pass is behind Jagielka. Jagielka slips it away to Cahill on the edge of his penalty area. Momentary nerves for the Bolton defender, but then he does well finding Jagielka onto Milner. Milner to Baines, a yard in from the left touchline. 18 minutes gone, 0-0. England and Ghana on 5 line. Cahill to Wilshere. Always wants the ball, Jack Wilshere. It's great. He's not frightened at all. Here's Carroll playing it back to Wilshere. Excellent first time strike to the far side. Johnson, good control from the fullback. Ashley Young's on the near post. Carroll hanging back. The cross into the penalty area took a deflection and should be cleared by Ghana. And is well played by Pansel to Adia on the near side, and on it goes to Asamoah, who loses the ball. England have it back. Wilshere into Carroll. Carroll, centre of the Ghana half. On to Johnson. Johnson to Downing on the far side. England right, level with the edge of the penalty. Onto his left foot, the cross is too high, and it's courtesy of a little push into the back of Carroll.
You must have said that 6 times.
What?
The cross.
I know.
On 6 occasions, England have got in really, really good positions.
But the delivery has been good.
Not under pressure, Alan. The delivery's been very, very poor. Mike England's about to go and stick the nut on this guy who stood in front of him here, I think.
No, he won't get upset. He'll leave that for me to do. That's it. Yeah. No, not you, sir. You, the one on the phone. Anyway, we got a shot of Michael Essien in a very snazzy suit, sitting watching his countrymen. 0-0. Have they reacted to that bang in the wall? No, they haven't.
Now, you know what he's doing. He's ringing his mate to see where he's sat.
Well, could he not do that from somewhere else?
Maybe not get a signal elsewhere.
Slice clearance from Vorsa, still in play. Good touch back by Adia, and then Pansel beats Ashley Young not once but twice, and then he plays it to the captain John Benson. Nearly 20 minutes played here at Wembley. We await the first goal between England and Ghana. Well, that didn't look like clever defending. Muntari and Vorsa. No. In the end, Vorsa just knocked the ball out of play.
That was like watching Wales on Saturday trying to play out from the back.
Baines with a throw into Jagielka, and now it's Cahill. Right in the middle of the England half, Cahill. But there's space for him to run into, and he moves forward into the centre circle. Finds Milner. Milner being harassed by Annan, but still gets the ball to Baines. Here's Wilshere to Captain Barry. Rochdale have taken the lead against Charlton. 1-0. Rochdale lead Charlton. Back it goes to Joe Hart. Hart mightily blasted upfield. Carroll jumps, heads it, but can't find a white shirt, and it's through to Richard Kingston, the goalkeeper for Ghana, who plays with a divorce. Another captain, John Mensah. By the way, we've also got a Jonathan Mensah on the bench. So if he's going to come on, could you please replace the captain?
Take some intelligence to work that out, won't it?
Or does he call Jonathan just to distinguish himself from the other one? Anyway, here's Ashley Young on the near side of the field. The England left miscontrols. He was under pressure from Pansel. Pansel heads it forward. Suleiman Tare back to Annan. Annan loses the ball to Milner, but it's judged to be a foul on Annan.
I think Annan was waiting. He was waiting for the foul, Annan. I'm not even sure if there was. I think James Milner just read where the ball bounced.
Ghana have possession with their captain, John Mensah, played to the near side, taken up by Adia. 21.5 minutes played. England 0, Ghana 0. Two obvious chances, one for each side, neither taken. The ball crossed into the England penalty area. Good defensive header away, and then Barry runs it clear and finds Carroll. Good work by the captain, and Carroll keeps it in England's possession, near side of the field. Baines, slightly overruns that. Goodness gracious, thought he was going to dive in. I'm glad he decided otherwise. It was a fair challenge, and he kept possession. Back it goes to Milner. Milner on the halfway line to Barry. The two Manchester City players. Barry hits it to the far side, and Glenn Johnson on towards Milner. Milner crosses early into the penalty area. It won't reach Carroll because it's intercepted by Vorta. It's cleared away by Ghana. We're approaching the midway point of the first half. England 0, Ghana 0. 5 live in the BBC, and here's Mike Ingham.
Thank you, Alan. It's just gone a little bit flat in the last few minutes after a lively start. And it's Wilshere who hasn't been on the ball that much for England early on here. Looking to play a 1-2 here, but he doesn't get it back. It wasn't well delivered from Wilshere to Milner, who just
overstretched.
Yeah, just seemed to pull up there. It's Ghana now. This is a problem for Ghana, though. A long-range shot comes in straight at Joe Hart from AU, but they do have a huge gap between AU and the rest. Just have a little look. Is it Milner who's got the problem?
Yes.
He's going to just try and run that off, maybe over the next few minutes. Fantastic atmosphere really created by the Ghana fans. We reckon, we've been told, there are around 20,000 here tonight, many of them of course based in the UK, and now it's England playing from right to left. 0-0 against Ghana on 5 Live, bringing the ball out of their own half with Wilshere bobbing inside the centre circle. Not a great layoff from Carroll, who just looks a bit rusty at times, and now down that far side for England it's Johnson. Holds the ball, gives it back again to Milner. Seems to be moving better now. Very slow though from England at the moment, the build-up. All the Ghana players back inside their own half, apart from Jean, and now England looking to link down the right-hand side. Ashley Cole putting pressure on the defender. Ball is played back to the goalkeeper, who clears. And I absolutely agree with you, Mark. While you were commentating with Alan, I was watching Ashley Young, and for me, he's the interesting one out there tonight. He's giving England a new dimension as England go forward, and they're onside, and the ball is pulled back, and Young has hit the bar. Should have scored for England. It looked so simple. Great ball in from the right-hand side. Young was there no more than a couple of yards out. Had to finish really, and contrives to hit the bar. Ghana escape. England back on the halfway line, still pressing. Milner now to release Johnson over on the right-hand side. Another chance for England. Ball in, doesn't reach Young this time. Ghana give it away once more. Shot driven in from Johnson, wins a corner. Mark.
I think the cross for Ashley Young came from Milner, and it wasn't too dissimilar from the goal that Bent scored at the weekend, where Bent just slid in and hit the roof of the net. This time Young slides in and hits the crossbar.
Corner to England, 0-0 at Wembley. They almost scored a few moments ago. This one is to Andy Carroll, who heads it well wide. But the point I was going to make about Young, and he looks confident because Fabio Capello singled him out after the game in Cardiff, and we're just getting a replay of that moment. Milner, and well, Young was, how far out was he? 3 yards?
He went with the wrong foot.
Right.
He's gone with his right foot, the outside of his right foot. He just stands there with his left. He knocks it in the bottom corner.
Should have scored his second England goal, his first at Wembley for them, but he does have this licence to move in behind Andy Carroll, so we'll continue to watch him in this game. as England now are struggling to clear here. They give the ball away, Muntari, but he's denied by Gareth Barry, who's having quite a solid game as the captain. Ghana with rare moments inside the England half. England 0, Ghana 0, but England have missed opportunities here as Pansel of Fulham lays the ball forward. Cross comes Jack Wilshere to try and get the challenge in here against Adjumang, and it's out of play. And the thing about Ghana is you just wonder how long they can stay in this game physically, bearing in mind they arrived yesterday, having played on Sunday, after a 9-hour flight from Africa. But England have been denied here. It's a free kick to Ghana, given by the Turkish referee. Uruguay have scored another goal now, and they lead 3-1 in the friendly match against the Republic of Ireland. And Rotherham 0, Shrewsbury 2 is the latest score in the league. Now, possibly Ghana's best chance here to go in front might be a set piece. Joe Hart hasn't had a great deal to do. One terrific early save to deny Adia, and it's going to be a free kick which Muntari standing over and clips it in with his left foot, and England didn't pick up the runner, and Hart makes a really good save there. England ball watching at the far post. They clear downfield. There's only Ashley Young there, and it's out of play. So the fact that England have had all of the possession and carried most of the threat, and Ghana very nearly went in front. Mark,
I think it was Adia, wasn't it, the 18? It's a really good save. This, it's a cross reaction save, left hand just palmed it away.
It was indeed Adia who popped up at the far post. Graham Taylor talking earlier about the Ghana defence looking a little suspect. I thought the England defence as well looked a little bit nervous early on here.
Mate. They're ball watching.
Yeah. And a free kick now to England is taken by Cahill, and it's with Jagielka, who's playing on the left-hand side of Cahill. Cahill once more, slow build-up by England. Good noise around Wembley Stadium. 27 minutes gone. England 0, Ghana 0. We've had chances at both ends, good chances as well. Kingston made one great save earlier on. Ball back inside the Ghana defence, and now Kingston, the Blackpool goalkeeper, takes control. 5 Premier League players in this starting 11 from Ghana, and 8 of this team played in the World Cup quarter-final. Now it's Jack Wilshere of England. Wilshere on the halfway line, being followed all the way by Adjumang, and he plays it back into defence. Cahill slips it forward to Barry, and now England can get moving with Wilshere once more centre circle. Downing pointing down the right-hand side. Terrific ball from Wilshere, finds Downing, Young and Carroll in the penalty area. Downing hasn't got it in yet, lays it back instead to Glenn Johnson. Johnson ball into Ashley Young, and Ashley Young is a judge. What's he given? Is he given the free kick to England?
Free kick to England, yeah.
What was that for?
Well, it was for a foul. I think it might have been, I'm not sure it's Downing or Glenn Johnson, I'm not quite sure.
Free kick to England. Nearly half an hour gone in this friendly match at Wembley, and a chance perhaps here now to test Kingston in the Ghana goal away to our left.
It's a foul on Milner.
Right. Downing at the moment is poised, but his Aston Villa teammate Ashley Young is there as well. England fans doing their bit now, but being matched all the way here by the thousands of Ghana fans who are predominantly over on the far side behind Kingston's goal. First international between England and Ghana. Special occasion for the African side. This free kick is going to be left to Stuart Downing for England. Kingston stands by his left-hand post. Ghana line up the wall on the edge of the penalty area. And here goes Downing with the free kick, just over. Was there a fingertip there? No, I don't think there was from the goalkeeper.
No, there wasn't. He took his position away to the sort of his right-hand side. He was struggling to get anywhere near it.
So it's a goal kick, and it's half-time in Belfast. Aaron Fletcher.
Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. 3 good saves in the first half from Lee Camp for Northern Ireland to deny Ilicic, Sule and Bursa. The only chance Northern Ireland managed in the first half, a Klingon free kick from 25 yards just wide. It's tight and tense, 0-0 at half-time.
Thank you very much indeed, Darren. This is England's last match until June the 4th, when they play the qualifying game here against Switzerland. And Ghana are a bit sloppy, give the ball away inside their own half, and then they win it back again. Johnson, tight for England in the centre. Nice pass from Barry, who's doing okay. Long one now from Johnson, looking to release Ashley Young, but out comes Kingston in the purple away to our left to make the save. Half an hour gone exactly. Let's get some more thoughts from Graham Taylor. Graham?
Well, I have to say, if you're looking on England as the second team, as the reserve team, then I think they've done reasonably well. I have to say that. There's always an expectancy for England, but they're playing the same formation. I know I've said it before. I like to see that, because I think then you've got a lot of movement, you can interchange positions, and we've seen it a great deal with Ashley Young. And so if you have people, a good squad of 20 odd people who know what the manager's looking for in that formation, that can only be for the good.
Thank you, Graham. It's a free kick to Ghana. It's a bit flat though, it doesn't reach anybody in that Roy of the Rovers kit, and England now bringing the ball out. Carroll turns away from difficulty, then played it really strongly towards Cahill, who got out of trouble nicely, and England now with Johnson. Johnson's in midfield at the moment. He plays it to the right hand side, and Downing, he's got Milner ahead of him. Downing just holds things up, lays the ball back towards the halfway line, and England set off again inside their own half. England 0, Ghana 0 in this friendly. It's the Republic of Ireland 1, Uruguay 3 in their friendly match. Half time in Belfast, 0-0 between Northern Ireland and Slovenia. Now Joe Hart's given the ball away, but Jan is all on his own, right edge of the penalty area. Jan's ball in, Barry has to clear, and he makes a complete mess of it. Presented it to Montari, but the whistle's gone. Well, and that was really careless at the back by England.
Yeah, I mean, Gareth Barry originally outside the left foot, sloppy ball back to Joe Hart, who then put himself under a little bit of pressure, gave the ball to Jan. Fortunately, Barry was then fouled. He was trying to intercept.
Well, there have been 3 dangerous moments for the England defenders, and for Joe Hart, who gives an air all the time of being so confident. Just occasionally he can be perhaps too confident, as Carroll now gets... Carroll has fouled Fossar, the centre-back, and Ghana have a free kick. Of course, had it not been for Landon Donovan of America, these two sides would have met in the last 16 of the World Cup. England would have played Germany until Donovan scored that late goal against Algeria and forced the game in Bloemfontein, and the rest is history. Long ball downfield for Ghana. England have to be careful here. Jagielka's not sure where Jan is, and he allowed him to get half a shot in, and he didn't really deal with it, Mike.
Jagielka made the first basic mistake defending. He wasn't even looking at the ball, he was just looking at the man. You've got to see where the ball is for the very first time, because it can go anywhere. He just looked at the man. He had absolute no idea when the ball bounced where the ball, and it came straight to Jan, who should have done better with it.
Fabio Capello saying yesterday he wants to see his deputies, he wants to see other players. In the case of Cahill and Jagielka, I suppose they're 4 and 5 in terms of centre-backs now, after Ferdinand, Terry and Dawson. A pity in many ways that Dawson isn't out there tonight to get more experience playing alongside the likes of Johnson and Hart and against dangerous forwards. Are we going to have a change by Ghana, are we?
It looks like it.
Right. They will have to make all of their changes at some point, because they will be weary, really, having played that African Cup qualifying game on Sunday in Congo. And now Wilshere, walking pace by England. Wilshere, little flick from Ashley Young doesn't work, and Ghana now trying to break over on the far side. Jan, he'll be reasonably fit because he didn't play. He was suspended for that match against Congo. He's trying to get the better of Glenn Johnson. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Asamoah trying to turn. Cahill has to concede a corner.
And they broke really quickly, didn't they, there, Ghana? Just the starters get a little bit of confidence here, I think. Convincing themselves they can make chances against England.
Well, fantastic support for the Africans. Corner kick to Ghana over on the far side. Muntari, who won the FA Cup here with Portsmouth, but he's going to step away and allow Adjumang instead to take it. Testing moment this for England. They haven't been that convincing at the back. Joe Hart poised. Andy Carroll's back inside the 6-yard area. Tallest player in the England side. And it's going to be an in-swinging corner for Ghana over on the far side, the left. Some delay here. Now it's taken. Lots of height, and Carroll got his head to the ball. Knocks it out of the area, and Ghana, a bit unambitiously really, play the ball back to the centre circle. Now they drive it long. Barry's header and Young's clearance straight back again to Ghana.
I think both teams look very similar, Mike. I think defensively sloppy and conceded all sorts of chances. That's both teams, and going forward have looked quite dangerous.
This back four, by the way, from England is probably going to have to play virtually the whole game. They've only got one defender on the bench, who is Jagielka. And now Ghana building at the back with John Mensah, the captain, and it's a high one, looking for another of the Sunderland players, Jan, who gets in ahead of Johnson. Tricky player. England haven't dealt with this yet. Ghana linking, and again driving forward from midfield, and it's Annan turning away from Wilshere. Ghana just keeping possession, playing it back through the defence now. Fossar, the centre-back, bringing the ball forward. Plays it short. Thought about the long one. Ghana play neat and tidy in midfield, then Muntari's almost going to lose that, but he hasn't. Ghana still their best possession football of the game so far, as they work their way now down that left-hand side of the field. Growing in a bit of confidence here at Wembley. England 0, Ghana 0. Long ball to this near side, beautifully executed. Pansil's there. Ghana just enjoying moments on the ball here. Now they go towards the edge of the England penalty area. Cross comes Jagielka. Doesn't get the challenge in. It's Asamoah. Asamoah Muntari. Asamoah again this time. Big clearance downfield. Will Andy Carroll have any legs here against Mensah? Mensah got enough touch on the ball back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, wasn't Lescott a sub at the weekend? The only sub tonight on England's bench. If he was, he won't be happy, will he? Not even starting tonight.
Well, Lescott presumably is an option. I suppose he could play left back, but more likely to come on and play centre back. So that will happen at some point in the second half. There'll be 5 other changes. We expect to see Jarvis. We'll probably see Crouch and Defoe, I would have thought. Holland 1, Hungary 1 is the latest score. The referee was just checking something back inside the Ghana half there.
It was a 50-50, I think, involving Barry, and I didn't quite catch which Ghanaian player it was.
36.5 minutes gone at Wembley. England 0, Ghana 0.
It's a better game than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, but sadly it will be disrupted once the changes are made in the second half, as Barry now floats one to this near side of the field. Baines on the volley, doesn't manage to find Young. The intention was right, then Baines goes sliding in, and the referee didn't like the challenge. Has he penalised the Ghana player?
Well, I'm not sure.
Which way's he given this one?
I'll tell you what,
it's the Ghana player who's been injured.
Well, I'll tell you what,
the
Ghana player left himself open, Mike, because they both slide in. You never ever tackle like this. Look, watch him slide in, and Baines catches him. But I think Baines catches a ball, and the follow through then. Yeah, the follow through then he catches a Ghanaian player. But I tell you something, and it's like, unfortunately, the lad Holden who got injured at Old Trafford the other week.
I do remember.
He slid in exactly the same way. Well, you straight away you leave yourself open to a vicious challenge. I'm not saying that was a vicious challenge.
By the way, if anybody ever wanted an example of a difference between a friendly match and a competitive game, then it had to be in the opening moments when Addy, the left back, with a stupid challenge really on Downing, was just waved away with a warning by the referee. Had that been a competitive game, had that been a Premier League game, it would have been an absolute certain yellow card. It was a dangerous challenge. England take a free kick short. England 0, Ghana 0. That was a ball which was risky. Back to the England, sent back into the centre circle. England dealt with it okay, Gary Cahill, and now it's Baines. Ghana are pressing well as Young gives the ball away carelessly there, a little bit too overconfident. Ghana's problem when they get forward, there's nobody to feed off those flicks from Jean.
No, there isn't. Just as we've given Ashley Young the big build-up, he's had a sloppy 5 minutes.
Well, he almost certainly won't play the full 90 minutes, having been involved at Cardiff at the weekend. And England now look to Barry. Barry for Milner, strikes the ball back strongly to his defender Cahill, and now it's Jagielka. We've got 7 minutes to go in the first half. Bright at times, England 0, Ghana 0, chances for both sides. Jagielka running nowhere at the moment, just running square, there was nothing on for him. And Holland 1, Hungary 2 is the latest score. Gira, well known of course in England, has scored a second goal for Hungary. Now it's Leighton Baines of England, near side the left. Baines infield to Milner, and now Wilshere getting a rare touch on the ball. Wilshere, tackle though, doesn't go past Vorsar, and it's a free kick to Ghana. We're not really seeing too much of Wilshere, Mark, have we?
No, England have just lost their way a little bit. They were getting loads of opportunities, predominantly down England's right, getting in behind the left side of the Ghanaian defence, a bit like Wales at the weekend, in all honesty, have not really capitalised on those opportunities.
Just thinking about what we're going to see at some stage in this game, we may well see Crouch and Defoe and Jarvis, perhaps, at some point, finishing this game for England. Ball is back in the penalty area away to our right. A little bit of a lull with the crowd as well. Still waiting for the first goal in the game. What about that scoreline from Holland? Holland 1, Hungary 2, and now here come England with Barry. That's one trying to play the ball over the top, and it does reach Ashley Young. It really should have been cut out by Pansil. But Young is being pressed on the touchline, and Baines gives the ball away. And Ghana look now, no they don't, because Barry comes in with a strong challenge over Asamoah. It's been quite impressive, Barry, in his largely defensive role in front of the back four. Knows that he's playing for his place, of course, now.
He is. He just had his arm up as well, and I think he's brushed the head of Jean.
Free kick to Ghana, 0-0 at Wembley. taking plenty of time over this, having a bit of a breather is Pansil. Wonder if he'll be going on his victory celebration at the end as the shot comes in, but the whistle went a long time ago for handball. That's Pansil's box of tricks. He loves to do a lap of honour, of course, at Craven Cottage after home wins. He'd give anything to be able to do one here today.
He wants to score an own goal, doesn't he?
Free kick to England. Joe Hart to take it. I wonder whether we'll see Robert Green, perhaps, in the second half for England.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Hart's high ball in towards Andy Carroll. Carroll waits for it to come down and then he's pushed over. I think he was waiting for that as well. Free kick to England, and here's a chance perhaps, as Cahill is already making his way forward from the back. The free kick is going to be left to Milner to take. So we've got Cahill and Carroll on the edge of the area. Young is there as well. James Milner of Manchester City, yet to score a goal for England himself. In goes the kick towards Carroll, doesn't reach him, but it flicks off a Ghanaian head. Still in play by the corner flag. It isn't going to be a corner, and Adia now plays it out of defence, but Ghana tripped themselves up there. England have the possession once more with Baines. Again, it's a little bit slow, the initial build-up from England. Now Baines shows a wee bit more urgency. Finds Barry near side. Barry now trying to change the direction. It's gone across the pitch, and it's with Cahill. Cahill, though, can't go forward. Finds Barry once more on the halfway line. England looking for an opening here in the last moments of the first half. Baines overruns that. He's done that a few times, but he got it into Ashley Young. Little extravagant flick from Young. England have to stop way back almost on the halfway line once more. Ashley Young, who made a very bright start in the game, just drifted a bit towards the end of this first half. Barry now, infield to Young. Young's got Will outside, plays the ball into Downing in the area, comes to Carroll, and there is his first international goal, sweetly struck with the right foot. The new Liverpool man celebrates. It was a long build-up from England, and in the end it was thunderously executed. It's England 1, Ghana 0. Andy Carroll's off the mark.
Yeah, it's a clever run by Downing first off, and a nice little ball played into him, and he just sat it up, second touch to Andy Carroll, who struck it left-footed, sweet, along the ground. Kingston in the Ghanaian goal, never saw it. Lovely little ball. I think Ashley Young found Downing as well. Great strike by Carroll.
Well, the two Villa players played a big part in that goal. Young first, and then Downing, and then Carroll. And it's one of those possibly in years to come. I was there moment, really, seeing Andy Carroll score for the first time. Sure. It won't be his last either, Mark, for England.
Also, it went through the defender Mensah's legs. How many times you see goals go in like that, where obviously the goalkeeper just have a chance of sniffing it?
Well, the feeling was that Carroll might only play 45 minutes, with Crouch perhaps coming on in the second half. So he's made the most of it in the end. It's only his second cap. Played against France, remember, in the friendly, which England lost. England 1, Ghana 0. And on balance, as Ghana give the ball away, England probably deserve just to have the edge here. Though Ghana have had chances themselves. But they will surely tire in this game, and they will need reinforcements after their weekend commitments. Barry still predominantly dominating that middle area. Barry's available again, and Cahill decides to give the ball back to Hart. Do you think that, Mark, with about a minute to go in the first half, England deserve to be in front?
No, I don't really. I think it's been very even, Stephen, and I would argue that Hart's saves have been better than Kingston's in the Ghanaian goal, and I think 0-0 at half-time would have been about right.
But Young, of course, hit the bar when he should have scored. Downing should have done better as well, clearly. But you're right, Ghana have had good moments as well. Hart has had to be very alert. And now England trying to get a second. Another back flick from Milner. And now Milner spreads the play to the right-hand side. Galloping down the right is Downing. And Downing does really well to get the ball by the corner flag. That looked a lost cause for Stuart Downing. Then he's beaten by the defender Addy, who clears downfield to Jean, up against Cahill. And that's out of play for a Ghana throw. So we've only got 30 seconds to go. And we hardly have any time to be added on really here.
Yeah.
Maybe a token minute.
Just wonder whether it might just affect what Fabio Capello does at half-time, whether he's going to make the wholesale changes, or with that goal might just think, well, I might just give them another 10 minutes maybe.
Andy Carroll, of course, still waiting to open up his account at Liverpool, though that won't do him any harm at all, the confidence. That was a good strike from a class player. England 1, Ghana 0, and England give a free kick away, and this might be the last chance Ghana have of getting back on terms before half-time. They're taking the kick quickly. Asamoah in field. England have got the players back, but they haven't cleared it yet. Now Adia down the right-hand side. His ball in has hit Baines. and the Turkish referee, I think, will now send everyone to the dressing room for half-time. Well, it's for a friendly match. It has been quite lively, really. We've had good moments at both ends, and then right at the end of the first half, the two Villa players, Young and Downing between them, teed up an opportunity for Carroll, who made absolutely no mistake to leave us with a half-time scoreline of England 1, Ghana 0.
Mike and Alan and Mark, thank you very much. He took his goal well, didn't he, Andy Carroll, Graham Taylor?
Took it very well. A great strike off his left foot all along the ground, and it was an excellent finish by him.
What's your overall view of that first 45 minutes?
Well, I have to say this, that, you know, we're looking at England's second team. That's what people say. If I was Fabio Capello, I would be reasonably pleased, reasonably happy of what they've done. Bearing in mind, you know, I have my first team sent back to their clubs, if that says, because I know I've said this before, and I am emphasising, when Capello first came here, I thought we're going to see a lot more flexibility in the England side. He had the Rooney and the Gerrard situation changing around, and then we fell back into a 4-4-2 formation. And I've always said, ever since I certainly was the England manager, that we will not win anything if we play with a 4-4-2 that is basic, not flexible. And so I was very pleased when I saw them play as they did against Wales. And what I've seen now, picking up, I mean, it's a brand new centre-back combination, isn't it? They haven't played together in any sense. So I'd be reasonably happy with what I've seen from these boys.
So given that he's looking for fluidity and flexibility, then if you look at the England goal, will perhaps the most pleasing thing be that Ashley Young moved into the centre to dink the ball over, and Stuart Downing, who's nominally been on the right of a three, hasn't he, came over to the left to lay off for Carroll.
Yeah, well, one of the things I've heard from the camp is that what he's actually trying to do, when you have the one centre forward, he wants at least one of the wide people to link in and join him. Now, if you, let's say you're the left back of Ashley Young, and he starts off there wide right, where are you going to follow him? He's been all over the pitch at the front. So if you don't follow him, somebody else has got to pick Ashley Young up, and that's got to be decided by the opposition. And that's a weakness, I think, in the Ghana side at the moment, their back four. But the movement, what I like is the movement of players, the flexibility of players, and I'm sure it will get better, but Ashley Young fits that role perfectly.
So 1-0 here then to England at half-time. They're already underway in the second half at Windsor Park. Darren Fletcher.
4 minutes gone in the second half. Still Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. Northern Ireland haven't really been able to put any pressure on the Slovenia goal as yet. Just that one free kick in the first half from Sammy Klingen that was just wide from about 25 yards. Slovenia have forced a good opportunity to start the second period. Low drilled cross from the left-hand side, and Novakovic, the centre forward, has been in excellent form for Cologne in the Bundesliga this season, blazed it over from close range. Northern Ireland really do need to win this one tonight, and they're not asking too many questions defensively of Slovenia. 50 minutes played, it's 0-0.
Also in that group this evening, it's Estonia 0, Serbia 1. That was a 7:30 kickoff in the Euro 2012 Group A. Belgium 3, Azerbaijan 1 is a latest. Turkey 2, Austria 0 is a full time. In Group D, full time, Romania 3, Luxembourg 1. And if I could get my computer to work, which brilliantly enough it stopped, I can tell you that it's Holland 2, Hungary 2, Wesley Sneijder with that goal. Sweden 2, Moldova 1 also in that group. Group F, Israel 1, Georgia 0. In Group I, Czech Republic 2, Liechtenstein 0. That's a full time. This is the latest. Lithuania 0, Spain 1. Republic of Ireland 2, Uruguay 3. Keith Fahey has pulled one back for the Irish from the penalty spot. Wales have beaten Andorra by 1-0 in the European Under-21 Championships. In Empower League 1, these are all latest. Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Brighton 0. Exeter 0, Swindon 0. Rochdale 1, Charlton 0. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Brentford 2, and Yeovil 0, Carlisle 0. In League 2, Port Vale 0, Lincoln 1, Rotherham 0, Shrewsbury 2. In the Blue Square Bet Premier, Altrincham 1, Southport 0, Crawley 1, Mansfield 0, Grimsby 0, Darlington 1. Luton, who changed their manager yesterday, 0, Barrow 0, Newport County 1, Gateshead 0, Tamworth 0, Wrexham 0. In the Iron Brew Scottish First Division, Cowdenbeath 0, Falkirk 0, Ross County 0, Dunfermline 0, Stirling 0, Queen of the South 2. In the Second Division, Brechin City 2, Alloa Athletic 1, East Fife 3, Ayr 1, Forfar 1, Airdrie United 1, Livingston 0, Peterhead 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Dumbarton 2, and in the third division, Annan Athletic 0, Clyde 2, Berwick 2, Stranraer 2, and Queen's Park 2, Montrose 2. You're up to date with all the football that's being played across Europe this evening, so let's get a news update with Kate Williams.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has announced that the UN Secretary-General's special envoy is going to Libya to urge Colonel Gaddafi to implement a real ceasefire. Mrs Clinton, speaking at the end of an international conference in London, said he'd go to both Tripoli and Benghazi and explained why.
To urge Gaddafi to implement a real ceasefire that is not going to be immediately breached by his own forces, to withdraw from those areas that he has taken by force, and to look for a political resolution which could include his leaving the country.
The Pentagon says the international coalition has launched 22 Tomahawk missiles against military targets in Libya in the last 24 hours. Government plans to change who pays solicitors working on a no-win, no-fee basis could see the less well-off missing out on access to justice. That's the fear of critics of the plans, which have been announced by the government. The Justice Secretary is Kenneth Clarke.
It got altered in 1999, and so the average defendant now facing a no-win, no-fee claimant can find, indeed usually finds, they pay out more in fees to the lawyers than they do in damages to the claimant.
The Chancellor, George Osborne, has told the Treasury Select Committee that his recent budget has been endorsed by the influential economic group, the OECD. He said the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development had written to the government to express its approval. Low levels of radioactive iodine, thought to have come from the damaged Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan, have been detected in the UK. The Health Protection Agency said the minutest traces of iodine-131 had been picked up by air sampling stations in Oxfordshire and Glasgow and didn't pose a risk to the public health. And a German teenager has admitted throwing a banana onto the pitch when Scotland played Brazil at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday. The Brazilian player Neymar claimed it was a racial slur against him, but the police say it wasn't racist and aren't taking any further action. On the roads, on the M6, the northbound entry slip road is closed at junction 15 for Stoke-on-Trent. A couple of problems on the M40. Northbound, the road's closed between junction 8A for Oxford and junction 9 for Bicester. But also barrier repairs going on along the same stretch, so there's a lane closed southbound between junctions 8A and 9. And finally, on the M25, an accident involving several vehicles means the clockwise entry slip road is closed at junction 10 from the A3. The main carriageway of the M25 clockwise is open. Kate Williams, 5 Live Travel.
Coming up, another huge month of sport this April on BBC Digital Radio 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra, including Chelsea, Man United and Tottenham in the Champions League quarter-finals, the ICC Cricket World Cup Final, Rugby League, Super League, the Grand National,
Ball to the front, riding away for all his work.
Masters Golf,
and he's going for the green, and he has given it an almighty whack.
FA Cup semi-finals, and the London Marathon. More live sport, pure live sport. This April on 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra. 5 Live Sport.
International football.
England play Ghana.
And England are 1-up at half-time, courtesy of Andy Carroll. Shrewsbury have scored again at the Don Valley, so it's now Rotherham 0, Shrewsbury 3. This is Mark Chapman with 5 Live Sport. Who will play Sri Lanka in the World Cup final then? They beat New Zealand by 5 wickets today. Tomorrow in Mohali, it's India against Pakistan. This is more than just a cricket match. Mark Pugach will be there for 5 Live.
Well, we're outside the hotel here in Chandigarh. We're staying here. Both the Pakistan and Indian teams are staying here as well. Security everywhere, army everywhere. They're checking cars. Jonathan Agnew, our correspondent, is with us. Agus, this is a massive event. It would be a massive event if they played it in Dover. But actually, woven into this is a huge political event as well.
And that's the big debate in the media here, isn't it, about the players and whether being used as pawns in this peace process that might just be starting as a result of this game. Both prime ministers are going to be here. The thing that strikes me every time I see a match between these two countries is that one team has to lose. and how the hell whoever does lose this game is going to react, and not just the players. I don't really mean the players, but the supporters. Because this match is beyond anything that anyone I think could ever imagine at home. Any old firm football match, Manchester United, Manchester City, forget it. You know, as a player, you don't have your house burnt down, you don't have your families kidnapped, you don't have people committing suicide over the result very often. That is what happens in these games. I've seen it before here. I've seen this fortress like this before. It is incredible, yet somehow the players go out and play it. And it'll be the strongest team, I think, probably that locks everything out tomorrow that wins the match.
Reading in the press, the players themselves seem to be doing the best they can to actually calm it down, don't they? And you were at the press conferences today where the captains bumped into each other and there was a rather good photograph.
Well, a great photograph, the two shaking hands. And again, I hope that's on the front page of the paper tomorrow, rather than talk of a war, which we had today, missiles coming in to shoot down airplanes. I mean, it's gone absolutely crazy. The press conference was interesting, and that Dhoni, well, both started in English, and of course English is not their strongest language. Dhoni stayed in English and presented a very straight bat. He blocked. Whereas Afridi, who of course is a dasher anyway, doesn't speak totally good English, and that's all we see of him normally. And it was fascinating when he then switched to Urdu halfway through the press conference, and he was a different man. He was like the man who bats so wildly, and he was funny, humorous. I didn't understand what he was saying, but everyone was laughing. Great long answers, and suddenly you see this character emerging, a very strong character, a controversial character as captain of Pakistan, but someone who's done, I think, a huge amount to get his team to this stage, which is beyond, I think, most people's expectations of Pakistan.
Right, so in amongst it all is a cricket match. And it's in some ways it's being built up as Pakistan's bowling against India's batting. How do you read it?
Well, that's possibly true. I mean, I haven't seen Pakistan yet in this tournament. I've seen 3 matches of India, and I've felt every time they haven't quite played at their best. I've just spoken to Chris Srikanth, actually, their chairman of selectors, and he agreed. He reckons they've got more to give, and I think they have. Yuvraj has had a brilliant tournament. It's about Sehwag and Tendulkar there at the start, isn't it? Against Pakistan's opening attack. Will Shoaib Akhtar play? Afridi said he wasn't 100% fit. Shoaib wants to play. I think everyone wants him to play because he's a great showman, and matches like this need that showman element. So I suspect it will come down to that, because you look at Pakistan's batting lineup and you do wonder where their major innings will come from. They haven't got the big names that India have, but somehow they've got here, somehow they've cobbled together enough runs to do it, and someone I suspect they'll hope will do it again tomorrow.
We all know that huge Indian and Pakistan following back home, obviously listening to this now, the Indians will be saying to their Pakistan friends, you've never beaten us in a World Cup. It's 4-0 to India in a World Cup, but Pakistan beat them in Mohali 3 years ago and chased a massive 322 to do so.
Yeah, I don't think records count for much in this, really. I think it comes down to that day tomorrow. It'll be weird for Pakistan, because it'll be 99% support will be India. We know there's horrible silences that there are, deafening silences when the opposition does something good against India. I mean, you have to recheck, don't you, that you've seen. And that's what Pakistan will have to cope with. But more than that is this huge pressure that all of these players have at the back of their minds. Not so much about winning, they've got that huge expectation. But what happens if they don't win? I mean, can India seriously embrace Pakistan in the final in Mumbai on Saturday if they lose? I mean, it's questions like that weighing on everyone's minds tomorrow, I think.
Agus, thank you very much indeed. Test match special live on air, 5 Live Sports Extra and Radio 4 Long Wave from 9:45 tomorrow morning. Don't miss it.
Cannot wait. Mark Pugach with Jonathan Agnew. One other cricket line, Ricky Ponting has backed Michael Clarke to be the new captain of Australia after he confirmed he's standing down as leader in both the Test and One Day formats, but Ponting does want to continue playing. Manchester United have confirmed they'll play Barcelona in Washington on July the 30th as part of their summer tour of the United States. Andy Murray has split with his part-time coach of 3 years, Alex Corretja, but we understand there is no chance of him teaming up with former world number 1 Ivan Lendl. And head coach Steve Meehan will be leaving Bath at the end of the season, and he won't be replaced. The current director of rugby, Sri McGeechan, will take charge of all coaching matters at the Rec. Let me point you in the direction of a whole host of shows coming from Liverpool next week on 5 Live, based around the Grand National, of course. We've added an extra programme. Ellen Oldroyd next Thursday will be taking her 2012 Olympic programme to the city, discussing what the Games means to people outside of London. If you want to be in the audience, and it is free, just go to the 5 Live website for details of how to get tickets. bbc.co.uk/5 Live to get tickets for Ellie and 2012 Olympic programme in Liverpool next Thursday night. In Belfast, it's still 0-0 between Northern Ireland and Slovenia. Here at Wembley, we're ready to begin the second half. The referee is stood with the ball just outside the central circle as Ghana make 2-3 substitutions. I'll let Alan Green tell you about those.
Yeah, absolutely delighted that Jonathan Mensah will join John Mensah in the centre of the Ghanaian defence. The other changes are Parry for Adi at left back, and Derek Boateng replacing Annan at the heart of the midfield. England's one change is Lescott has replaced Johnson, so we're assuming that Jagielka will play at right back. In fact, that's confirmed now. Jagielka at right back, Lescott and Cahill in the centre of the England defence, Baines at left back, Hart of course still in goal, midfield of Milner, Barry and Wilshere, and then Downing, Carroll and Young in a 4-3-3 formation. England. Ghana's revised lineup, Kingston is the goalkeeper, Pansel at right back, Jonathan Mensah, John Mensah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they're both very good players, and a Parry at left back, then Muntari and Boateng in midfield, aided and abetted by Ajimang and Asamoah, then Adia and Jian. We're underway. The Turkish referee's been excellent tonight. He's missed nothing. England 1, Ghana 0. Andy Carroll's goal in the 43rd minute. Good left foot shot, good finish, comfortable, confident, doing the world of good. It's played upfield by Cahill, chested down by Carroll. England attacking the end to our right in the second half. Still lots of empty seats as people enjoying the hospitality. Here's Wilshere scurrying forward up to the edge of the penalty area, into the penalty. Ashley Young shot over the crossbar.
Yeah, it wasn't too dissimilar from the opportunity he had in the first half from that kind of position. It's not when Wilshere burst forward, Alan. He had a chance to smash it in himself from about 20 yards away, and almost for a second he almost overran the ball.
Goal kick then to Ghana. Holland 3, Hungary 2. Van Nistelrooy, right from the grave.
Crikey, where all those goals come from? Last time I heard it was 2-1 Hungary.
Yeah, then it was 2-2 while you had your second bucket of chicken nuggets and
you know what, it was foul
slices.
as well.
Well, overcooked, drastically overcooked. Ashton 3-3, Holland and Hungary. Some in that. And the lines, of course, are open for 606 0500 909 693. I'll be conducting that affair from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Chicken's always best overcooked, you should know that. You've seen all these people streaming back in here. Nuts, isn't it?
But look how many empty seats there are in front of us. I don't get it. Surely you're here to watch the football. It was supposed to be a sellout. It's nowhere near. They may have sold all the tickets, but Wembley certainly isn't full tonight.
They might have Holland-Hungary on the telly.
Could be. I think this has been a good game. England lead by a goal to 0. Jagielka now operating at right back. On to Downing. Downing's pass was poor. Jagielka's flip. And Ghana on the attack, though. It breaks down. It wasn't a good ball from Asamoah towards Jian. Played back by England to the goalkeeper Hart, and Hart clears it over the halfway line.
There was nothing wrong with Downing's pass. It was just the fact that Jagielka slipped, didn't he?
Pansel back to the other goalkeeper, Kingston. 2 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live at the BBC. Here's John Mensah, the captain, to number 9, Boateng, with the dreadlocks, one of the two holding midfield players for Ghana tonight. And then they run it over the halfway line. Ajiman to the far side of the field, and Pansel, the Fulham right back, also right back for his country. And they made good progress here, Ghana. They're level with the edge of the England penalty area. The cross was terrible, though, easily caught by Joe Hart. And Hart with a good throw out to Downing. Downing. Now, Young has come in field, so there's no outlet down the down the left. And then, well, Downing was caught there by Suleiman Tari.
Challenge, Alan, again.
Well, it's not the first tonight.
No, Adi was the first challenge within a minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Mike rightly made the point earlier that, you know, some of the tackles, had they been in a competitive game, would undoubtedly have provoked yellow cards from the referee. An update from Belfast, Darren Fletcher.
25 minutes to go. Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. 2 more chances for Slovenia. Souleur's header into the side netting. Bursa's powerful shot just wide. No real sign, Alan, of Northern Ireland mounting a threat at the other end. Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0.
Here at Wembley, England 1, Ghana 0. England have the ball, and it's flicked by Lescott forward, and it comes back towards Jolien Lescott. Ghana then lose possession. I think that was a
Wilshere.
Slightly late tackle by Wilshere.
Yeah, he slid in.
Yeah, and the referee spotted. He spotted everything. Yeovil 1, Carlisle 0. We're into the 5th minute of the second half here at Wembley. England 1, Ghana 0. Pansel on the far side of the field. Pansel chips it forward towards Gian, carefully headed away by Cahill, and then that wasn't a foul tackle, surely, and not surprisingly, now Wiltshire may be caught on the second occasion. He went down. Then there's another aggressive challenge coming in from Pansel on the far side of the field. As I say, it's not a friendly as far as Ghana are concerned, and who would blame them? And then the ball played forward towards Muntari, but he'd made the run far too early, and he's offside. It's a free kick to England.
There's been a few tackles flying in. It's actually helped the game, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
I mean, it's nothing worse than an after you Claude moment.
To be honest, I think it's been far more interesting than what happened on Saturday. Couch has now scored for Holland. Holland 4, Hungary 3. Goodness gracious.
Well, I see he scored at the weekend as well, I think.
And Van Nistelrooy got their third goal. And I'm sure Van Persie got one of the others. Holland 4, Hungary 3. Here's Wiltshire as the ball squirts through to him in possession, and then he tried to flick it into the path of Milner. Milner was slow to react, and it's cleared by Ghana up into the centre circle. Good run by the left back O'Parry, but before he can get a sight of the ball, there's a foul on Asamoah by Jagielka, and it's going to be a free kick to Ghana. Well, there are arguably far too many interesting, tasty challenges, but it's made for a better game. Now there's a shot driven in high by Muntari, wide of goal.
Technically absolutely all over the place, wasn't he? When he was like lying back almost when he clipped it left-footed, Muntari.
Xavi had put Spain ahead away to Lithuania, but Lithuania have now equalised. Lithuania won, Spain won. 6 minutes gone in the second half here at Wembley Stadium, here on 5 Live. And there may be more changes imminent for Ghana, who had a huge qualifier in the African Cup of Nations at the weekend in Brazzaville, a tortuous journey to get to London. They haven't trained very much, and they're certainly very tired, so he will unquestionably, Goran Stefanovic, make full use of the six substitutes that he's allowed. Here's Gareth Barry, the England captain, trying to play it into the path of Ashley Young, swept clear by the Ghana defence, and then Milner trying to win it back, swings a boot at Boateng. Boateng gets the ball, Boateng plays it to O'Parry, the left back. On it goes to Asamoah, and his pass infield not so good. England have it. Here's the England goal scorer Carroll. Carroll went down far too easily. It's a fair challenge by Boateng, and the referee rightly ignores it. Ghana on the counter-attack here. Pansel feeding into the penalty area where Gian's run had been ridiculously early, and he's offside.
Well, it was also overplayed the ball as well, wasn't it? Pansel, it was, if you look at the gates, he'd be down Harrow High Road.
So a free kick to England, taken by Joe Hart. Short for Barry. Barry's been very steady in that England midfield. He's just kept as the defensive midfield player, and he's done a good job tonight, the England skipper. Jagielka plays it down the right touchline ahead of Milner, and the pass back by John Mensah. I don't believe this. Holland 5, Hungary 3. Another goal for Dirk Kuyt. He got the fourth one. Some game that. Some miscontrol there by Stuart Downing, allowing the ball to trickle out of play for a throw into Ghana, taken by O'Parry, who plays for Standard Liège. Back to the captain, John Mensah, forward to Asamoah. Now the other substitute, one of the other substitutes, Boateng, to Jonathan Mensah, the third substitute that's been introduced by Stefanovic for Ghana. All of them at half-time, of course. Then the pass into the England half, intercepted by Lescott. And it's Milner trying to keep the ball on the far side. He slips. It's chipped forward by Ghana, straight onto the chest of Cahill. Cahill lost it, but not before he was shoved by Gian, and it's going to be a free kick to England.
Just starting to get a little bit bitty, isn't it? Certainly Ghana trying to bed their 3 substitutes in, and quite an easy substitution in terms of England with Lescott coming at centre-back and Jagielka going to right-back in place of Glenn Johnson. Hasn't changed the way that England play. Just haven't really done anything yet in the second half of the ball. Stuart
Pearce is just having a word with Scott Parker, so presumably Parker for Wiltshire would be an obvious change. Here's Downing just outside the Ghanaian penalty area to Wiltshire. The pass was under hit and also telegraphed by Jack Wiltshire, easily intercepted on the far side of the field by Jonathan Mensah, who clears towards the halfway line, pushing the back by Lescott on the Ghana player, and it's a free kick to Ghana. Dagenham 0, Brighton 1. I think Brighton are now 120 points clear in their
13, I think you'll find.
13. Well, it's like 120. Fantastic. Free kick tapped short by Ghana for Pansel. Pansel drives it over the halfway line. Initially wasn't the best of control, and then it looks like another foul by England. It is. It's a free kick to Ghana. There've been far too many stoppages actually since the second half.
Bitty second half,
really bitty. 10 minutes gone, still England 1, Ghana 0. Andy Carroll's goal in the 43rd minute of the first half, his first for his country on this, his second appearance. So Ghana's free kick, tap to Boateng, and Boateng onto Asamoah. The ball squirts upfield into England's possession. Downing trying to shepherd the ball behind for a goal kick, and does so successfully. So we bring Scott Parker.
Well, I was just going to say, Avram Grant will have a view about that, won't he? Scott Parker on, who's carrying a couple of niggles. Who did they play at the weekend? Manchester United.
Well, some people might infer that the big clubs are being looked after by Fabio Capello, and maybe he's less concerned with the impact of friendly football on clubs at the other end of the English Premier League.
Andrew Wilshire's still on.
Yeah, he is, which I'm sure will be pleasing Arsene Wenger to death.
I can just see the smile now on his face.
Ghana have the ball on the far side of the field in their yellow and red striped shirts, and now they break forward. England better beware. Break into the penalty area by Suleiman, and then he threw himself down, and the clearance was made carefully by Cahill. And a play for a throw.
Cahill did well, stayed on his feet as long as possible, just watched where the ball was going. Long left leg away to safety.
It was Ajimang and not Montari who broke into the penalty area. But it's a throw in right in front of the bulk of the Ghana fans in the far left-hand corner. They've been delirious all night now. Great atmosphere to the occasion. Throw into the penalty area. Easy header clear by Lescott. Here's Boateng. Boateng to the far side. Room to get the cross in. Whipped in. Skips off the head of Gareth Barry. It's still inside the penalty area. Lescott is there. Screams for handball from the Ghana fans. And now for a foul. I think that was certainly a free kick. It would have been a penalty kick if he had handled the ball.
Yeah, it's
Lescott just over anxious there.
Foul. I mean, the ball's on the byline going away from the goal line. There's no way for the nudge from Lescott. And it was only a slight nudge, but it is a foul.
Ayudede will be coming on for Ghana. And that's the fourth substitution they'll have made. 12 minutes gone in the second half. England lead by a goal to nil. Now the free kick for Ghana is near to the goal line, but it's well in towards the penalty area. England have got everybody back defending it. Here it comes, whipped in toward the far post. It was a good free kick. The header wasn't great on the far post. Still inside that penalty area though, not for longer now surely. It's cleared by England, at least temporarily. But Asamoah plays it forward, and Ajimang gets the cross in. The header on toward the far post, no offside flag. It's played back, and England aren't really clearing this. Then a shot is deflected onto the top of the crossbar and behind for a corner.
That's a great block. Is that Milner? I think he might have thrown himself.
It was Pansel's shot.
Yeah, Pansel's shot. I think Milner threw himself in the way for the cause there for England, but the ball had been bouncing around England's penalty area for a good minute.
Look at the hysteria amongst the Ghana fans. All of them gathered behind this corner. Here it comes, left-footed, very deep again, and the header wide, and England didn't defend that well at all.
Good chance that was. Good chance, peeling away to the back post. England were all sucked underneath the ball. At the very least, you have to hit the target from there.
Here's the fourth change for Ghana. Ayudede. Come on, who's coming? And we're going to get an England change as well. Jermaine Defoe. Do you think either coach would mind if I said to just ease off in the substitutions until Mike takes over commentary? So the first change is Defoe replacing... Oh no, hold on, we're going to get the Ghana change. The man coming off is Montari, who's been carrying a bit of an injury, the Sunderland player. So he's off. And is it Andy Carroll?
Yeah.
Right, Defoe for Carroll. I wonder if Carroll's happy about that.
I think Kenny Dalglish will
may have just had something of an influence there. So 2 more changes to come for Ghana, and England can make 4 more. So just hold them back. Fabio and Goran. How many minutes played? 14 minutes of the second half. Not as good as the first half, but Ghana certainly have put pressure on England. Here's Jagielka now operating at right back. There's a poor ball from him straight to Boateng. Boateng in the centre circle. Not Kevin Prince, this is Derek. Kevin Prince Boateng's injured at the moment. Derek Boateng now to the right of the centre circle. Plays it back to John Mensah. And Mensah on to Asamoah. Asamoah flicks it to the latest substitute, Ayudede, who went down. It wasn't a foul tackle and rightly ignored by the Turkish referee. Ashley Young on the far side of the field. Of course, you bring Carroll off and you bring a player on like Defoe, it rapidly alters the way you play the ball in towards the striker.
You would hope so, wouldn't you?
Well, if he's swinging the high ball in, it'll be wasted.
Yeah, keep your high balls low.
Ball side of play, throw into Ghana. Quarter of an hour played in the second half. England 1, Ghana 0. Capello talking to Gareth Barry. The edge of this technical area. Throwing taken by Parry. Spain have taken the lead again in Lithuania. An own goal has made it Lithuania 1, Spain 2. Rotherham 1, Shrewsbury 3. And Port Vale 2, Lincoln 1. Estonia 1, Serbia 1. That's in Northern Ireland's group. Rotherham still 0-0 in Belfast.
Rotherham just sacked the manager. He was third, wasn't he, Ronnie Moores?
Yep, they have. Free kick to Ghana inside the centre circle. Just tap back for Jonathan Mensah. And now Boateng again. He's been pretty influential since he came on at half-time as substitute for Ghana. Substitute for the Black Stars, as they're known in Africa. Goodness gracious, that was an aggressive challenge by him. And that has to be a yellow card. Because not only did he kick the England player, he then followed through with his forearm.
Well, I think he completely missed the ball, Alan, and he followed through then with... Yeah, it was just with his leg on Milner. Well done, James Milner. He could have made a massive meal of it. He's got up.
Here is Milner after England take the free kick. Milner running through a central position, shoots low, and the goalkeeper scrambled across, got his finger to it. It's behind for a corner.
Yeah, decent save this time. I'm not sure if had another deflection just after it left Milner's foot as well, but good strike this time, running right at the heart of the Ghanaian defence.
Yeah, it was actually a good save, wasn't it? But it did take a deflection off a defender. England take the corner kick, and here's Ashley Young. Ashley Young flicks it into the penalty area, headed away well. Lescott thought he might have had a chance there. Now Ghana on the counter-attack. What are you pointing at?
Well, Cahill would have had a free header if the man in front of him had just left it. I've just presumed
Lescott.
that Cahill didn't shout him, otherwise it was in. 17
minutes gone in the second half here. 0500 909 693, the number to call if you wish to take part in 606, which will run from 10 to 11 tonight on 5 Live. England still lead Ghana 1-0. Here's the Ghana captain, John Mensah. And on now to the left side. Under Parry, worrying two, playing left back. Flicks the ball into the England penalty area. Good anticipation that by Cahill, who's then fouled. Cahill didn't like the challenge. Glares at Ayudede.
It's a poor challenge.
And another yellow card.
Daft.
Graham Taylor, what are your thoughts?
Well, I will say this, I think Ghana have had the better of this half. I mean, from a personal point of view, I don't like to see the substitutions being made. I think, it becomes a bit messy at times. We've already had 6 substitutions. We could potentially have another 6 as well, and I think it takes away from the game. But in this, so far in the second half, I think Ghana have been the more dangerous side.
Thanks very much, Graham, and unfortunately time running out in Belfast for Northern Ireland. Darren Fletcher.
10 minutes to go, still 0-0. Northern Ireland have had an opportunity though. McCann's free kick hoisted into the penalty area. Gareth McCauley's powerful downward header beat the goalkeeper, who was scrambled off the line by a Slovenian defender. Nigel Worthington sent on Josh McCoy. He's about to send on Pat McCourt. Northern Ireland need a goal, Alan. 0-0.
And of course I'd welcome callers from Belfast onto 606. 0500 909 693. Here's Ashley Young. Ashley Young glides the ball down the left side towards Baines up from full back. The defender gets there first, passes back to Kingston. Kingston's attempted clearance actually hit Leighton Baines, and it's out of play for a throw. Rochdale 2, Charlton 0 now. And we've had nearly 19 minutes of the second half here on 5 Live. England 1, Ghana 0. Throw in for Ghana, who's certainly playing with some urgency in the second period, rather more urgency than England are displaying. But I think they've actually taken the game far more seriously than England, and that's why it was interesting to hear the representative from the BBC African service before kick-off asked about what Ghana felt about this sort of selection by Fabio Capello and England, saying that Ghana felt cheated.
Won't be happy if England reserves beat them, will they?
No. And I think they're of sufficient stature to have merited, a stronger England team. That's a pass down the left side, but way beyond a parry the left back, and it goes behind for a goal kick to England.
They must have had an idea, Alan, though, that England would play a weakened team after the qualification.
I think the difficulty is if the games had been the other way round, Mark,
stronger team.
If you had a friendly prior to the qualifier, but this way, well, of course there were going to be England changes. Now Defoe chases a long ball head upfield. What's Kingston doing? And it was penalty. I think that touched the goalkeeper. So did Defoe.
So did the ref.
And the linesman didn't react, but the referee did. He hasn't missed anything tonight. It's a corner to England, and it was daft of Kingston.
Yeah.
So he's caused a problem for himself. But he actually tried to control it, miscontrolled it, but it came off with, the roof of his right foot behind for a corner.
Second touch would have been a header.
20 minutes gone in the second half. England lead 1-0. Corner from the right-hand side. Ashley Young takes it. Right-footed. Drilled in deep. And the header down and up over the crossbar it goes.
Yeah, Cahill again, wasn't it? This time he seemed to get too much purchase on his jump and seemed to head the ball down.
I think he's...
it's his corner, wasn't it? Did it come off I think that came off the back of the Ghanaian play, if you watch this.
Well, there are two players on the post. I'm not sure.
We're all claiming for the England boys.
Yeah, well, we're getting another...
Yeah, it was.
Definitely.
It was.
It came off the defender without question, John Mensah. Should have been a corner, but wasn't. That's about the only thing that the referees missed tonight.
Well, he didn't need much of an IQ to spot it came off Mensah, did he?
Well, it was either Jonathan or John. I know.
Concord's just gone overhead as well.
Sure. He's lethal. He's great to work with, but he's lethal. England 1, Ghana 0. 21 minutes played in the second period. Free kick to Ghana. Boateng to take it. He's 6 or 7 yards ahead of the centre circle, and they've got both Menses up from defence. There it goes, into the penalty area. Headed down, ran a long way, and then finally it's cleared by Milner for England. And it's a foul again by Boateng. Yellow carded earlier.
Well, Jermaine Defoe was struggling to control the ball as well. Some sort of 20 yards inside England's half.
We gather Matt Jarvis will be coming on very shortly to make his England debut, and that's great.
I'd say it could be great for Gillingham. Didn't they sell him to Wolves?
I would have thought they're
going to get some money on the back of England.
Yeah,
absolutely.
International recognition.
Yeah.
And no one would begrudge Gillingham. Certainly no one begrudges Matt Jarvis, who's had an excellent season. England on the attack here. Ashley Young tried to find Defoe, didn't quite get the pass right, and it's cleared by John Mensah to Pansel on the far side of the field. We're at the midway point of the second half. It remains the same since Mike described Andy Carroll's goal towards half-time. 1-0 England. Here's Mike.
Thank you, Alan. 43 minutes when Carroll scored. One of the reasons why I think the second half has been slightly different is that as here goes, he's onside as well, Jean, inside the penalty area, and then he hits the side netting. I was going to say, Mark, that one of the reasons why we're having a different second half, I think the atmosphere has changed because Ghana are attacking the end where all of their fans are, and it really has made a difference to the sound of the stadium.
Yeah, it has a little bit, and it's trying to, they've been drawn, haven't they, in towards it. It's a really good chance for Jean. Mike, he's got to hit it the other side of Joe Hart. He just stuck it into the side netting. There was one of the Ghanaian players who got in the penalty area if Jean had got his head up and played him in.
Well, here comes a very big moment in the career of Matt Jarvis of Wolves, because he's going to be the first England player to play from that club since Steve Bull. He's coming on not for either of the wide players, Downing or Young. He's coming on for Wilshere, and he's going to play on the right hand side, it seems. We're also going to have a change made by Ghana. We'll just stick with this and see what's happening here. And they're also going to make a change and bring on Prince Tego, who's one of their top players, plays for Partizan Belgrade, and he is going to come on for number 18, Idea. So Ghana have now made 5 changes. Not surprisingly, we talked about the schedule they've had. So on comes Tego, who's number 12, And has Downing gone into the centre of English's position? Right.
He has, yeah.
So you're listening to 5 Live. It's England 1, Ghana 0. England have had some uncomfortable moments in the second half, keeping Ghana at bay. Ghana are getting wonderful support. And now Milner, tackled, plays the ball back to Jagielka, the right back, and now Lescott has a touch. Another former Wolves player, of course. Of course, Jarvis is very much present-day Wolves, looking to get his first touch in international football, wearing the number 15 shirt. England moving it around slowly in midfield. And now it's with Baines over on the left-hand side. 3 of the England back 4 now have got Everton connections. Lescott, of course, used to play for them. Jagielka and Baines play for them now. Here's the odd man out. Cahill finds James Milner. England just getting a bit of possession now because Ghana have had a lot of the ball in the second half. Jarvis made a run, but Young takes it now and then hits woefully high towards Defoe. Now, the thing is, if you go back to the original England selection of 26 players, I'm discounting Danny Welbeck, who was called up overnight. The only outfield player not to come on yet is Peter Crouch, and now we see him getting off his seat. So Crouch will come on soon.
I thought you were going to say something else for a minute.
Well, yeah. Explain. Oh, okay. And the goalkeepers, of course. I'm surprised actually Hart is playing as well in the second. We did talk about that, didn't we, before the break? Wondered whether Green may come on. Now it's Pansil, who loves to raid down that right-hand side. All the Ghana support over on that far side, of course. England 1, Ghana 0 on 5 Live. Ghana give the ball away, and England now look to Barry. That's the ball towards Jarvis, and he should have found him, and he didn't. So Jarvis is still waiting for his first contact. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Brentford 3, and Exeter 1, Swindon 0. Latest scores in the league as England head the ball away. Defoe, it bounces awkwardly for him. His header towards Jarvis doesn't find Jarvis, so Jarvis is still waiting to get into the game. 20 minutes to go here in what's been a really bright friendly match. England 1, Ghana 0. Andy Carroll opening his international account 2 minutes before half-time. King. And it's finished Holland 5, Hungary 3. Hungary at one stage were leading in that game by 2-1. Zoltan Gera amongst the goals for Hungary. Kingston in the Ghana goal hasn't really had a great deal to do in this second half. England leading through Carroll's first half goal. They may need another one before they can ease up here. Ghana threatening all the time. AU might have done better when he hit the side netting. Now it's Adjamang over on the right hand side. The cross will come in from the Ghana right. It's out of the England penalty area. Jagielka got an important touch and then goes for the return pass, and England now raid down this near side with Jarvis for the first time, just inside the Ghana half. Nudges the ball onto Defoe, who's a little bit slow to react there, and John Mensah puts it out. Estonia 1, Serbia 1 is a final score now, and Lithuania 1, Spain 3 is a latest score. Mata scored for Spain, and England have won a free kick for handball. England can make more changes, of course, in this game, and Fabio Capello was saying yesterday that he expects to make 6 changes. Pointless bringing a goalkeeper on though now into the last 20 minutes. We'll hear from Graham Taylor again in a moment as England now look to Downing, who completely messes it up inside the centre circle, gives the ball away, and here goes Tago with pace down the right, taking on Lescott. Lescott gets his body in the way though, and that was really poor play by Downing, which wasn't punished. It's going to be a goal kick to England, and let's bring in Graham Taylor as we just ease into the last 20 minutes here with England leading 1-0. Graham.
Well, as I said earlier, I think Ghana have had the better of the second half. They've been rather wasteful with the chances that have come their way. But I found it a very interesting game. Just a matter of interest as well. Jagielka, now playing at right back, has played at centre back and right back and came on as a holding midfield player. 3 different positions for him. He needs to settle in, I think, to one position if he's going to establish a team, a regular place in the team.
Thank you, Graham. Now, while that was all happening, we just had some poor play from Downing. We had some even worse play really from Milner. He gave the ball away, and then as he struggled to get back to challenge AU, he's brought him down, quite cynically really. It's a free kick for Ghana on the edge of the area, and Milner's got himself a yellow card, and there's a first little bit of tantrum out there, a little bit of temper between the two sides, just being calmed down. AU's back on his feet, he's okay, but England might need to concentrate here because this is a dangerous free kick.
Yeah, it was a poor tackle from Milner. Was it AU or was it Asamoah Gyan?
I'm sorry, I meant Gyan. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
It seemed to sort of rake the back of his leg, didn't he?
It was Gyan. AU's 13, Gyan is 3, which is unusual to have a centre forward wearing the number 3 shirt, but that's his style. That was what he did at the World Cup, of course. And Here's an opportunity for the aforementioned Jan, perhaps. This is a good position for Ghana. They've had the best of the second half. England haven't been able to put this game away, and Joe Hart now is trying to organise his defensive wall. So a Ghana free kick. Nearly all of their fans are over on that far side, many of them behind Joe Hart's goal, hoping to see this ball hit the back of the net. Still, we've got a bit of silliness here with England players stepping in.
Well, Ghana have moved the ball forward, Mike. I think the England players are just saying, no, it wasn't that close.
Nevertheless, England need to concentrate here, mustn't be distracted by everything else that's going on. So it's Jan talking to the referee. Ayew's just behind him. Also not too far away is Adjumang. England 1, Ghana 0. This could be a pivotal moment in the game, though, if Ghana can get this free kick right. Ayew, the way that he's just sort of setting himself up here, looks like he could be the man to take it. He won the free kick. They're still complaining, I think, and the referee's now marching the England players back further. He wants them back at least another couple of yards. And this is all really a little distracting now for Joe Hart in the England side. They just need to get back now and get themselves sorted. So we have Ayew to the left of the ball, we have Adjumang to the right. England holding on to a 1-0 lead. Ayew takes the kick, and it is pitiful, really, in the end. After all the build-up, it goes straight to the stewards behind Hart's goal.
It was a Shakespeare moment, wasn't it? Much ado about nothing. What a waste.
So we're now waiting to see whether Peter Crouch is going to come on. Other England substitutes warming up in the meantime. And England clear downfield. It hasn't been great from England in the second half as Jarvis gets up well and heads the ball on towards Defoe, who's got great pace, but Mensah's back, gives the ball to Kingston, who tidies up neatly. Mensah again almost stumbles on the ball, gives it back once more to Kingston, and Kingston with a poor clearance. That wasn't really well dealt with at all by Ghana, and that's given England a free kick, and it's given them some respite as well, because Ghana have been quite threatening. Barry, who's had an assured performance in midfield tonight, possibly England's best player. Cahill again, back to Barry. Barry now just inside the Ghana half. England playing from left to right, leading 1-0 on 5 Live. Young, really haven't seen very much of him in the second half, and he doesn't get off the ground, doesn't win the header. And out comes Stuart Pearce, the under-21 coach, just to give Capello a break, just to stand down there, looking on. England still with work to do before they can win this game, close it out, leading 1-0. And it's now Downing, who's made a few mistakes in the second half. England now can build from the back, and we're going to take you to Belfast. It's full time now. Darren Fletcher.
And it's finished. Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0. Northern Ireland had opportunities. Klingon in the first half, Macaulay and Brunt in the second, but they couldn't take them. They sort of run out of players tonight, Mike. Slovenia leave Windsor Park with a point, and Northern Ireland lose ground in Group C. Full time, Northern Ireland 0, Slovenia 0.
Thank you very much indeed. Darren Fletcher in Belfast, and almost a moment there for Young and Defoe, but they didn't quite get the link up right. And England now start again back inside their own half, leading by 1-0. Cahill finding Lescott, who's come on in the second half for Glenn Johnson, which has meant a positional switch for Jagielka. Now it's Young inside the centre circle. Holes, turns, gives the ball back to his captain Barry. Barry now thinking whether it's going to be long or short, plays it short to Downing. Downing now right across the halfway line for Young. It's a little bit pedestrian this from England. And now they start off once more at the back with Cahill and Ashley Young, who's had quite a free roll tonight. Young for Milner. Oh, and that slid right behind Jagielka. England just losing concentration and focus here. And now a neat ball from Jarvis for Jagielka. Jarvis is obviously going to try and make every minute count out here at Wembley. As Downing now, well, he could have given that to Baines. Now eventually he does. Baines holds, gives it back. It's all a bit slow, the build-up from England. Now high from Downing, over the defender towards Jarvis. Jarvis reaches for it. Here's a chance to take the full-back on, but he doesn't go past him. And Ayew brings the ball out now for Ghana. Does well, Ayew. Holds off 2 or 3 challenges. Adjumang into the England half. Ghana building now with numbers down the right-hand side. In the area, Jan waiting for it. Hasn't come in yet. Now it might from Pansel towards Jan. Flicked header is wide. Oh, from the crowd, the Ghana fans. Wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, better play by Ghana, that there's no doubt, but would have been some header to have been able to beat Joe Hart from that particular area.
So England have made, how many changes have we had? We've had Defoe coming on, we've had Jarvis coming on. Oh, we've got Welbeck coming on, have we? Well, it's coming on ahead of Crouch, which is quite quite something. And this Crouch is nursing an injury. I mean,
well, Crouch has got Champions League next week.
I suppose he has, but he's also got international experience. But Welbeck's coming on in a moment, and it's now James Milner of England. Finds Jarvis. Now can Jarvis produce a cross here into the England penalty area? He's just held onto it a little too long. Now he finds Milner. Opportunity's gone perhaps. Jagielka, oh, he's beaten by Ayew, and England should have done better there. Now Jagielka's out of position. He slips as good recovery from Jagielka, and now Garner
hurt himself,
under a bit of pressure.
mate,
Jagielka's hurt himself stretching over. And as Danny Welbeck waits to come on, England, and in particular Everton, will hope that Jagielka, who of course has had problems in his career with injuries, is going to be okay.
Well, they've got is Fellaini out, Arteta's out, you see Cahill maybe out, Saha, Rodwell.
He's holding on to his right knee, I think it is.
Hopefully it might just be a kick. It was just a kick, he's fine.
Well, he's having that knee massaged at the moment by the physiotherapist Gary Lewin. England don't have any more defenders on the bench. If he can't continue, they would have to put Milner, I think, to right back. But he's back on his feet again, and he's just going to have a breather perhaps. It's finished. Republic of Ireland 2, Uruguay 3. Here comes a change now for England, and this is another big moment in a young man's career. Danny Welbeck, who wasn't even in the original squad, called up by England in the last 24 hours. On loan at Sunderland, of course, from Manchester United. We've had quite a Sunderland contingent out there today, and Welbeck comes on for Ashley Young. I think Jagielka is going to be able to continue. Yeah, it must obviously have just been a kick then, especially when you see the physio massaging his knee, which is just to take the pain away. Could really make a name for himself here, Welbeck. He has just over 10 minutes to go as Jarvis glides the ball in behind anyone in white, and Garner now with Boateng bringing the ball out. Finds Ayew, Boateng and Ayew, two of the substitutes, both booked as well since they came on. Ball back on the edge of the Garner area with the captain John Mensah, and he finds Jonathan Mensah, not related these two. Jonathan Mensah's ball in was well controlled by Ayew, and here come Garner dangerously now. Ayew slips the ball into the area, too far ahead of the runner who was Asamoah, and Joe Hart makes the save, and England now, as the game opens up a little, break, and the ball is with Milner, who knocks it quickly to Jarvis. Jarvis controls it well, up against the fullback now down this right side of England, takes the ball towards the dead ball line and wins the corner kick in the air. Yeah, good break by both teams actually. Garner got forward very, very quickly. The final ball in the second half, although they've been better than England technically and also on the ball, the final pass has been poor, but then England broke very quickly. Corner kick to England. 22 goals Peter Crouch has scored, but it doesn't look like he's going to be called upon tonight. Maybe Javier Capello feels he knows all about him. He's giving others a chance as Jarvis takes a corner. England 1-0, headed away by Garner. Downing should get it back though for England over on the left hand side. Cahill stays forward. In goes across. Spectacular overhead kick from Barry, wide in the end though, well wide. Goal kick. Yeah, well done Downing though, to deliver the ball back in as quickly as he possibly could. A half chance for Barry as much as anything. Yes, do you know what? When he came on, Welbeck, I didn't draw attention to it at the time, but it seemed like he was being booed, and I was just wondering why. And I'm reminded that apparently he turned down a chance to play for Ghana, and so the 20,000 over on the far side are perhaps not impressed by that, and that's why we had the boos. We're going to have a final change made by Ghana in a moment. They're bringing a player out as England have the possession over on the far side. And Inku, one of the players who played in the quarter-final of the World Cup, is coming on. His Hart almost, but not quite, loses that in the penalty area. The ball sails wide into the crowd. Well, it wasn't the greatest of passes to play back to Joe Hart. There's not really enough pace on it. And in the end, he was lucky really to just get away with his clearance, which came off Asamoah Gyan, wasn't it? So, Mark, this game tonight is all about Capello looking at people. Learning. I mean, what will he have learned from tonight in terms of individuals? I think possibly not to discard Gareth Barry, which I don't think he would have done anyway. I think Cahill certainly has looked the part. He's done quite well. Baines, we know, is a good player. Ashley Young is probably as interesting as anybody might, because he understood the role he's had to play tonight before he went off. Sort of start on the left, come in and join up and join in, and you know he was instrumental as well in the goal. I would think, because of where he's played and the position he's playing in, I think Ashley Young, as much as anybody, has done himself a lot of good tonight. And the thing about the game overall for me is that the Ghana fans have made this an atmosphere, I think they've played a very big part tonight to sort of stir up the occasion here. There have been some meaty challenges as well from both sides. They've been quite committed at times. Ghana desperate to become the first African. And then there's another one, a pushover from Gareth Barry and a free kick to Ghana. This game isn't finished yet. Ghana have got dangerous players like Ayew and Tego and also Jean, who can change the game in a flash. Ball in the England area, and it's Tego on the ball as England don't clear it yet. The cross will come in from the Ghana right, and they've won a corner kick off Baines. And Ayew will go across. There's his fan club over on the far side. An Ayew corner. No Andy Carroll, of course, in the England side now to come back and mark up. It's a short corner, and it's straight into Hart at the near post, and he'll just hold on here and wait for everyone to get back into position.
Absolute waste. I think there were 5 attacking players from Ghana in the box and just straight into the arms at the front post of Joe Hart.
So far in this game, well, as England now take the ball deep into the Ghana half, and a dangerous cross comes in towards Jermaine Defoe and Danny Welbeck, and it's well saved by Kingston.
Yeah, might have got a little knock for the struggle. It was just a long punt from Joe Hart, and Leighton Baines got himself in front of everybody.
They just like to cutting edge mark Ghana, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
Finishing.
Yeah. I just think they've been a bit slow to commit the players. They get they're quite quick from midfield, and they always seem to be an extra pass in the build-up.
Well, here goes Jean again, and there's another very unnecessary foul given away by Lescott, because I don't think Jean was going anywhere there. He was working his way towards the corner flag, and then Lescott tripped him up, and he's conceded a free kick in a position potentially of danger here for England. England 1, Ghana 0 into the last 5 minutes of the game.
I don't think it was a free kick, by the way.
And Ghana have got 4 or 5 players in the penalty area, including the 2 Mensahs, the 2 central defenders. So we've said quite a few times during this game that England are often vulnerable from set pieces, and this could be Ghana's best way of responding. Ghana free kick, trailing 1-0, running out of time. In goes a kick, poorly delivered. Baines heads it away, only as far as Boateng though. Boateng's shot was shoveled in. Milner tries to scoop it clear, but doesn't get any distance at all in the clearance. But Ghana have to go back to goalkeeper Kingston nevertheless.
It's the final ball, Ghana, Mike. It's not been good, has it?
Another ball downfield from Ghana, and Lescott let it travel on. A pick of hand ball against Tego. Complete communication breakdown there between Lescott and the defenders. But then in the end, Tego used his hand to control it. There have been some awkward moments here for England, but they do lead through Andy Carroll's goal. Sweetly struck, left-footed, 2 minutes before half-time. He's been replaced in the second half by Defoe, and Welbeck has come on, and he's looking to really get in the game. And he at the moment is playing down the right-hand side. Jarvis has gone across to the left.
Stuart Downing, man of the match.
Do you agree with that?
Nope.
I would have given it personally to Barry, I think, because I think he's responded well tonight to wearing the armband. He's had a steady Eddie game, taken control of quite a lot of the business in midfield. Header back by England could cause a few problems here, but Cahill, who's done all right, squirts the ball out for throwing. Ghana still believe they can get something from the game. They have a throw-in. Ayew, who's been lively since he came on. Jean just trying to trick Gareth Barry down the near side. 1-0 to England with under 3 minutes to go. Ball into midfield, and Boateng, the other Boateng, Kevin Prince Boateng of Milan, by the way, injured and not available for Ghana tonight. Ghana building now, down the right-hand side. In comes the cross, diving header away by Lescott, doesn't travel too far. Milner gets there first for England, wants the ball back from Jarvis. Jarvis has held on to it here. Moves towards the halfway line, he's still holding on to it, and he plays it towards Welbeck. And could have done better there, really, Jarvis. Welbeck's taking on the defender, and he's done well, Welbeck. He's won a throw.
I think Jarvis was just waiting till he thought that Welbeck was in a position where he could get on to the end of his pass, and in the end it's worked out for both of them.
Jarvis waits, and Jagielka happily, by the way, just in case Everton fans have been scared by that injury. Jagielka is now okay, and England take the throw, and Milner's on the ball. In comes the cross, headed away by Ghana. It's still inside the Ghana area. It's Gareth Barry of England stabbing it across to the left-hand side of the field. Now Baines, the left back. Baines in towards Jermaine Defoe, coming deep. Defoe sends the ball all the way back to his own half. Lescott has to be quick. And now Cahill onto Barry, and England just starting to get a grip again as Barry slants the ball towards Jarvis. Defoe's waiting, pointing forward is Milner. Jarvis sees Milner. Milner on the edge of the area, knocked it straight at John Mensah. Comes back once more to Jarvis, can't get the cross in, has to settle for the throw-in by the corner flag near side. England 1, Ghana 0, closing moments of the game.
Yeah, good end to the game for England, Mike, as well, Danny. Just keeping hold of the ball.
Minute and a half to go, there'll be time to be added on for all the substitutions. England's Jarvis has won himself a free kick, as he should have done, yes he has. And the linesman signals And England now, having had to withstand a fair amount of pressure in the second half, with Ghana inspired by their fans down the other end, England now starting to get a bit more control, and they've got this free kick.
And they're just asking, Lescott's actually asking, can I go up for the free kick? I think he's got the answer in the negative, himself and Cahill.
It's been a very good workout for Fabio Capello in England against top quality African opposition. They went the furthest, of course, in that African World Cup last year. So the free kick will be taken by Downing of England. Knocks it back to Jagielka. Jagielka, good ball to Downing. Slow build up from England. Then a left footer in from Downing towards Defoe. Ghana yet to clear this one inside the area. Still haven't cleared it, and it's still on the edge of their area. Jarvis going down, looking for the push. Referee doesn't give it, and Boateng now has gone a counter-attack with 15 seconds of normal time to go. Fourth officials waiting. England holding a 1-0 lead here. Ball played in towards Jean once more, and Lescott gets it away, but only as far as Ghana down the right. They've got a chance here of getting the ball into the England penalty area. They do, and in the end, it's Barry with a volley clearance back to the halfway line. 3 minutes of added time. That would appear to be about right. Still time for Ghana to have one more chance. Ball bobbling around on the edge of the England area. Jan once more causing a few problems. Still Jan, and the shot comes. Oh, it's there! It's there! It's a goal! In the end, from Jan. He's been threatening that all night, and he runs across to the 20,000 Ghana fans over on the far side. There's always been the danger in the second half, and Ghana leave it as late as they possibly can in added time to make it England 1, Ghana 1.
He scored himself a goal out of nothing, Mike, and seemed to twist and turn in the England penalty area, and people just stood off him, and he was almost going away from the goal at one stage, came back inside, and he's just curled a little left foot, side foot around Joe Hart. But I mean, great goal from his point of view and his team, but from England's point of view, a very, very poor goal to concede.
Well, he's been a handful all night, the Sunderland man. He was wriggling away on the edge of the area. There were players waiting for the ball to come to them, but he decided, I'll make a name for myself, and with a left footer slipped the ball past a helpless Joe Hart. And the way this second half's gone in the end, if this is the final scoreline, it's probably deserved for Ghana.
Well, Julian Lescott made a bit of a nothing challenge on him as well, really, which didn't help matters.
Asamoah Gyan, who had such a dramatic World Cup, scored goals in the group, of course missed that crucial penalty against Uruguay, which could have sent Ghana into the semi-finals. A goal for him tonight at Wembley. Not much time to go. Chance now for England, maybe. In comes the ball from Milner, and it's an easy catch for Kingston in the Ghana goal, who really hasn't had to do very much in this second half.
I have to say, I think if it finishes at 1-1, it is about the right result.
Offside now.
Yeah, offside. Ghana have been much better in the second half. Much, much better.
And incredible to think, really, that this team were in action in Africa on Sunday, playing against Congo. They then had to fly through the night to be here, and they arrived yesterday. They've done no proper training at all, really. And right at the end of the game, they have scored a goal which, over the 90 minutes, I believe they fully deserve, and they've had fantastic support. As soon as the final whistle goes, they will run to those Ghana fans away to our left, who've never stopped giving them everything in this game. Andy Carroll scored for England 2 minutes before half-time, so England scoring right at the end of the first half, and in added time, Jan of Sunderland has scored a great goal for his team, for his country. It doesn't look like they're going to become the first African team to beat England, but they're going to do the next best thing here at Wembley, and they have, as the referee from Turkey blows for the final time, and all the noise in the stadium and all the vibrations are coming over from that far side. The Ghana fans celebrate a thrilling climax in the end. Their main man, the man who got the biggest cheer when the two teams were read out before the game, Asamoah Gyan, their World Cup man, of course. He has scored right at the end here, punishing some wayward defending by England to leave the final score at Wembley in a very entertaining friendly. England 1, Ghana 1.
Thank you very much, Mike. Think that's a fair result, Lauro?
Yeah, I do. I think that I think even at half-time, England 1-0 in front. I think that Joe Hart had to make two very, very good saves, and the second half the Ghanaians were stronger. They made some substitutions which actually made them a better side. They're a little bit more attacking, they're a little bit more inventive, as well. I mean, it's a really good goal from Ghana to score an Asamoah Gyan, but it was awful defended by Julian Lescott. But you know, it's a 1-1 draw. It's been a very good friendly in inverted commas, and because of the 20-odd thousand supporters from Ghana, it's made it a better game actually. And I think Mike made a really good point, because they were attacking that goal where all the supporters were. It actually gave them an edge and put England in a bit more pressure, which in a friendly game is never a bad thing.
Don't normally get an atmosphere like this at the end of a
No, I know, it's great.
Friendly at Wembley. Steve Bruce, Graham Taylor, was watching the Sunderland reserves tonight, so he's probably in his car on his way home at the moment listening to us. And his main man up front scored a good goal.
His main man up front scored a very good goal. Yes, there was some poor defending by Lescott. His ability and willingness to turn and the placing of the shot was excellent. If you're going to try to make any amends for missing a penalty in the World Cup, then to equalise for your country against England at Wembley goes some way to do it.
I'm fairly sure John Pansel, if he can get various members of the Ghana team off his back, will go on a lap of honour round Wembley, which is what he always does at the end of the game, of course. I think one of the people who wasn't celebrating, Graham, was a man just to the left of us who had Andy Carroll to score and England to win 1-0, and that betting slip got torn up. What will Fabio Capello have learned from tonight?
Well, I think we've learned a number of things, and this I think is the important thing. I think it's been a good friendly game.
Here goes John Pansel.
He's off. He's on the way, isn't he? He's off the way. How can you run at that pace when you've just played 90 minutes football? But I think from an England point of view, OK, last minute equaliser, fine, I'd just put that one to one side. I'd look at my team, my second team, if we're talking about that, you know, when people see it. And I've said, and I will keep repeating it, if you're going to play this formation, stick at it. Let people see. I mean, Gareth Barry has come in. I still don't believe that is his best position. But having said that, he has played well. He's responded from, you know, not even being in the 18 to becoming the captain and leading out. But there are other little things. We saw Carroll coming in there. But the greatest thing for me was the movement of Ashley Young. As I said, once you get wide players moving and linking in off their front men, they are difficult to pick up, and you get a flexible formation that way.
John Pansel only did half a lap of honour, and Lawro, he did want to stick to that formation, Fabio Capello. He didn't want to bring Peter Crouch on to go 4-4-2. He wanted to bring Welbeck on to play the Ashley Young role for that final 15.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely fine. I mean, Graham's absolutely spot on as well, and you know, you can play that sort of 4-3-3 with the two boys in terms of the three up front being able to come in and playing off the line and playing off your centre forward, and if you take it in turns, plus you get the odd midfield player who's prepared to run in behind your centre forward. I mean, in international football, I think it's a perfect system formation. Call it what you will. So from that point of view, I'm with Graham insofar as I think Ashley Young tonight has really strengthened his case by his understanding and his willingness to play that role, which he was asked to play, obviously, by Fabio Capello.
Wembley is absolutely bouncing at the moment. I mean, England fans are still leaving through the turnstiles, but we're told, 20,000 Ghanaians, they aren't leaving for a while, Graham.
Well, they're not. And, you know, yes, we have a reputation, you know, and probably we've not really earned it, but we have a reputation here of a footballing... This is an African nation that did extremely well, the best African nation in the World Cup. They've now come... And this is how they look at it. They've come to where they consider, you know, football was invented, and they've come here, and in the very last minute they've got an equaliser. And it's joyous, it's magnificent. You can imagine everything back in Ghana, what they're saying. I love it. I'm like everybody else. When I see people so committed to the game and their team, it's fantastic.
I can't wait to see what Wembley Way will be like when we get out of the stadium. Let me give